Good morning, Macon, Georgia, and Middle Georgia, and everyone else around the world through the World Wide Web. This is the Morning Roast for Tuesday, July 23rd, 2013. You're live from the doghouse at the Morning Roast with Irv, Ed, and DB.
Good morning. Hydroponic.
Yes.
The only one on.
It's 8:05 a.m. Eastern Daylight
Wow.
Savings Time in Macon, Georgia. It's 72 degrees and sunny for now, with a high of 88 and a low of 73. There may be a slight chance of thunderstorms and showers.
Don't give them any false hopes. It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain every day. They already said it.
It's gonna rain every
What are
day
you listening to?
for the rest of our lives.
I spoke to Mother Nature. She's pissed.
Yes.
It's gonna rain.
Well, she just got a
We
bad
got
bladder.
Obama going to be sending arms to the Syrian rebels now. Get ready. Here we go.
Well,
Yes.
we look good this morning
World
together,
War
Derek.
III
What's up?
coming.
Look at that. Look at how sharp we look.
Yes.
We look like two peas in a pod.
Yes.
Two.
Peas and something.
Yes.
Look at that.
I don't know. I hope it's their regular pods. I hope it's not like body invasion of the body snatcher pods. You know.
Oh, I wrote to Miriam Paris yesterday. I said something about post, but I didn't say post. I said pot, and I realized that I wrote that word pot. I hope you like my pot, but
You only got 3
I went back and said a post typo. LOL.
Wow.
That way
Something else, huh?
I had to be. Yeah. High five to you there, hydroponic. Hydro man.
Oh yes.
Thank you for being here. We have an audience of one this morning.
Yes. And we're
The hell?
we're still grateful.
And we're
nonetheless.
still, we're number one already. Look at that.
Not about that. Even with
What the
the
hell?
audience,
We're
of
doing
one,
better
still-
than the other show.
Yeah.
They're not even on.
What other show?
Oh, yeah, what other
Other
show?
show.
Starts
Right.
at 9.
Sorry.
Oh, Donnie.
Anyway, so,
Yeah. You realize I didn't know about this, but don't you know it's been 100 years since the start of the T-shirt. T-shirts have been around for a century.
T-shirt?
Yes.
No shit.
I just thought it was
And
a
how
real
did they
T-shirt.
get the
funny.
name T-shirt? Because of the shape?
Yeah, because of the shape of the letter T.
Well, hell, then we should be T-men.
Wow.
Because we're shaped like T's. We're actually shaped like crosses. Crosses with legs.
No.
Walking crosses.
Wow.
Hey, that's the name of my new band.
Well, you know what's so funny is that I was looking for a T-shirt this morning, and I was so focused in on it. I said, "Oh, I got such a nice T-shirt to wear today," which is that old Save the Wall T-shirt from Roast, right?
Yeah, Roasted Cafe.
I said, "I got a nice white T-shirt," and now I'm hearing that it's 100 years ago today that the T-shirt was invented.
Yes.
What do you think that means?
Well, at
I
least
just
it's a month.
sent you some breaking news.
Okay. Well, that's something to think about.
Look, he's wearing a T-shirt, the Ray
You gonna cover that
666.
Yeah, I'll think. I'm gonna
The
get.
last one I just sent, about 10 seconds ago.
By the way, who's Ray 666?
I'll
Creep Show.
definitely get that. I just opened.
Oh, you love horror movies.
You want to
huh?
cover that story?
No, not really. No.
What story are we telling? By the way, we have to do a shout out. Happy birthday to Newton Collier. He turns.
Guys, maybe.
Oh yeah.
How old is Newton?
68.
68 years old.
68.
Look at that. He's one number
Congratulations.
short of 69.
Yes. And 2 short of 70.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But happy birthday, Newt. Shout out to you.
Shout out. Happy birthday, Newt.
We'll be sending you something on mail, and hopefully
Get on the show again.
I'll take you to lunch. Oh, come on the show, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try to get together with Newt.
So, and now talk about T-shirts.
Yeah.
When did they start using the term wife beater? You know,
Wife beater, that's a good
Like,
Oh
question.
yeah,
they always
that
wear-
is a good question. I guess it must have been a lot of like I want to say as early as back those Farrah Fawcett made for TV movies and those Lifetime movies back during the 70s and 80s. You know, the guy who always abuses his wife.
Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Marlon
Hey, by the
Brando.
way, did you know they had she popped a kid, Kate Middleton.
Yeah, she did.
8 pounds 6 ounces.
A boy.
Yeah.
They haven't named it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, well, evidently, from what I understand, is she was the great granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she didn't like Princess Di. They wanted to name her Diana,
Who?
the
Yeah.
baby.
Oh, they want to name the baby? Even though it's a
They
boy?
wanted a girl.
I thought it was a girl.
I mean, what
it's a boy.
guy's known as Anna?
Sarah?
Yeah, it was a boy. They said it was a boy.
Then what are they talking about?
Yeah, it was a boy.
Oh, I'll tell you later who I heard that from then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, boy, yeah.
But you know what's so funny? Oh, okay.
They were talking about it.
Oh,
That's
really?
where I got Diana from.
Okay, go figure.
How kind of guy's name? How can you make a guy's name out of Diana? You can't.
Well, they're saying that he'll probably be named Arthur,
Yeah.
even though the British people are naming some other names.
King Arthur, yeah, because that's too high of a.
Well, the thing is Prince Charles' second name is Arthur, and Prince William's second name is Arthur. They both have Arthur in the middle. So they thought they'll probably name him Arthur to bring the name Arthur up.
I was right on the weight though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
8 pounds. Okay.
Yeah, so who knows? And you know what? I mean, I'm happy for them and all that, and it's kind of nice. I like the British tradition, royalty. I watch it. I like
The
it.
guy comes out of a clock and goes,
Hey!
"It's a boy!
Hey!
It's a boy!
Hey!
You gotta play him,
We
man. That
have
guy's
a
gotta be
baby.
ugly as son of a
It's
bitch.
a boy. Hey!
That guy looks like, remember they call him Wishnicks, but I don't know what they call them now. Treasure trolls. You know the treasure trolls, the little big-eared ones with the little nose and their hair.
You mean like a gnome or something?
No, they call them Wishnicks. They were very famous when I was a kid. They're probably famous when you were a kid.
Yep, the name is still a mystery.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, hey, O.J. Simpson is on. Good morning. Donnie Curry's in the house.
Hey, we found your glove.
Yeah.
But
By the way, good morning, DS Photo Guy. Let's say hello to everybody. Ashley, 34. Ashley's here.
Let the
18T.
dog shoot it up.
Vorpa Bite. Yeah.
Yes,
You happy
that's
that the kid is born, Vorpa Bite?
Mm-hmm.
I bet Vorpa Bite would like to
Oh,
shoot
by
it.
the way, Warbleby, we're sending arms to the Syrian rebels. But that was like buried in the news.
Yeah.
Front page was the baby.
Yes.
I mean, it certainly knocked Trayvon Martin right out
Yes.
of the front page news, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that guy was ugly. That guy ringing a bell.
Oh,
the
yeah.
big ass ears. Well, what a huge mouth he's got.
Well, yeah. I guess the people will focus on his mouth instead of his ears and that
Yeah,
type of
well,
stuff.
his ears were as big as his mouth.
Possibly
But,
Anthony
who
could
knows?
get a job there.
What
do you think, Or missed that one.
Wow.
You
Uh,
didn't hear what I said. I said maybe Anthony could get that job.
Well, yeah, that's
Mouth.
true. He'd do a better job right now.
Hey!
Actually, speaking of
You got a
Anthony,
baby. You're
he
not
ju-
kind.
He just called me. He just called me. You know where he's at?
Where?
He's in front of WPGA, in front of Meth in the Morning, once again holding the signs. And he's going to go to the Georgia Board of Elections office and stand in front of Rickett's sign. By the way, Mr. Rickett, you're not supposed to put the signs on the Board of Election property. You are just, once
Well,
again, taking
it's so many
advantage.
feet away.
Yes.
I've seen them before, but they got to be so many feet.
They had to
away.
be at least, what, 50 feet? 50
What,
to,
from the door?
50
from
to
the
100 feet?
polling place.
Yes.
From the polling. Oh, maybe he's right. Maybe he's
Gotta be like at
he's
least
not supposed to be in the
50 to
vicinity.
100, at least 50 to 100 feet away.
Yeah,
from
well, it
the
looks like
pole.
he's probably about 51 feet away from it. He may be a foot away from it.
Yeah.
He always finds a way to finagle and weasel his way into things, you know?
But speaking of the baby, they said it's usually a tradition that those the babies who were born the same day as the royal child, they usually get some type of gift basket or something. So that's a lot. I guess it
Gets a hell of a lot more than a gift basket. That kid is born
Something.
right. You ever see the
Yeah.
movie Willy Wonka,
Yeah.
the new one, when he goes into the room and no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz?
The
Okay.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
The new one.
Okay.
Really shitty movie, by the way. The Grand Wizard or the Wizard.
Just
no.
the regular wizard. There's
No,
no, there's
it's
no
a
grand
new one
wizards.
with,
I don't be
James Franco.
Burning crosses. Okay.
With James Franco. What the hell was his name, Ed? You gave me the
The
movie.
wizard.
The new Wizard of Oz with James Franco. The Grand Old Oz, whatever. What a piece of shit movie that was. Anyway, he goes into a room and he like slides on all over this gold
Uh-huh.
and all these coins and he starts throwing it up in the air.
Yeah.
That's what that kid was born into.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying the commoner babies, regular babies.
Yeah.
They get some type of gift basket or something. I mean,
Yeah.
not much as the.
And they're
as
plugged
well.
right into welfare.
Yeah. But there were two. But there,
Powerful.
Oh,
great,
the great
powerful Oz. Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, there have been 2,000
crappy
babies that
movie.
was born in the same day as the royal baby. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of gift baskets. You got to get
Oh, look who's back.
a lot of. That's 2,000 gift baskets. You got to get to the common people over in England. So
Good morning,
I wouldn't be
Lawrence.
complaining if my son was born the same day as that. Hey, give me my gift basket.
Oh, we got George Zimmerman. He's
Yeah.
out. Oh, do you feel good about yourself, George? Now that you tried to help somebody?
Save the community.
You know, I'm gonna call him Piggy George, Piggy Zimmy. He looks like a pig, don't he? And by the way, this is all bullshit politics. All right. George Zimmerman knows everybody's looking up his ass, and they know the size of his anus already.
Hey, they
And he gets out of
He
the
saved
car
somebody's
and he
life
goes
the
and
other day.
saves somebody to look good. Right?
Yeah.
And immediately his lawyer shows up on CNN. Oh, well, that's Quincentennial George, always trying to help somebody out.
Damn, that sounds just like Obama.
Yeah.
Unfreaking believable. After you murder a kid, you're going to be a hero. So not only does he take a life, now he's trying to save a life. Anyway, just have to say that.
Obama does the same thing. When
He
something
said
good
we
happens,
set
he
up the
finds
rollover,
right.
I bet. Thank you, George. I'm glad that you're being honest.
See, that's every president, man. Every,
Yeah, he
You
saved
just
an
figured that
African
out,
American
Ed?
family.
He does that. That's every president.
Oh God, you see her shit? You haven't seen the shit that I got a video.
Please. You know what? He saved that mother probably standing there all with a heart on, saying, "Come here, baby. Everything's gonna be all right. Did you ever know that I'm your hero?"
God,
No.
My earplugs.
Whatever.
No.
Anyway.
Whatever.
ATT is not a fan of the monarchy. Anyone in the United States born into billions of dollars into the Illuminati will never have a work a day in his life. You're right. And all they do is travel around and do their duties.
Duties. Anyway.
Yeah, they duty all over the place. Freaking believable. Well, I'm glad that the Queen or whatever, the Prince of Cambridge, or what do they call these
The
people?
Prince of
already?
Cambridge.
Yeah, the Princess
Prince
of
and Princess
Cambridge.
Yes, Cambridge.
Why did I
Yeah.
call her the Princess of Cambridge?
Because she's from Cambridge, I guess.
Well, she went to Cambridge.
I guess.
Oh.
Like the Duchess of Wales.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's the Princess
well,
of
the
Wales.
Princess Diana was the Duchess of Wales.
Mm-hmm.
Is she the Princess of Cambridge or the Duchess of Wales?
She's the Princess of Cambridge.
Well, I guess so. What's
Because
going?
William is the Prince of Cambridge.
Yes.
Where's Saibuki? Somebody find Saibuki.
Yeah, so Boogie, we need a
it's
fellow
like-
Brit guy.
We
somewhere
need
in
somebody
England.
across the pond.
He's probably out there
Who's out there
celebrating.
across the pond?
He probably got drunk.
I've got fucking smashed.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was hanging out with all these arses.
Yeah. Arses, yes.
Arses.
Yes.
Mark. By the way, what is the big deal about the succession? They shouldn't take Prince Charles. Forget
All right,
about it.
Here's the video.
They gotta bypass Prince
got the
Charles.
video.
You got a video?
Yeah.
Look at
So
it. We got a
interesting
video.
to see the era. So interesting
Check
to
it
see
out.
the era this child is born into. Now the
escort of the official document out to the easel will listen in as this moment unfolds at Buckingham Palace.
They're gonna have two people doing this shit. Who cares?
Tradition, yeah.
Then they have this guy that looks Indian. They're trying to look international.
Yeah, Indian was. The
Yeah,
British
whatever.
colony.
Why do they have a black guy there?
They don't
Bunch
have
of
enough.
racists. White girl and an Indian guy. Who gives a shit? Couldn't one person carry that? The hell is wrong with you?
You see there, it reads, Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cambridge. We can almost read this along with the
I
other
can't read
correspondence
that
we
shit.
hear reporting on it from the gate. Was safely delivered, has safely delivered a son at, looks like a 6, but we're told it's 4:24 p.m. Local time in London today. Her Royal Highness and her child are doing well. Among the signatures there is the OBGYN.
Unbelievable.
That's it.
Yes.
What the hell? I mean, and they put up a little frame this big, and they got two people carrying it.
Yes.
It's tradition.
And it's what a waste of money. It was so many. That's why you have Twitter now. That's why you have Facebook. You don't need
They
to
didn't
spend
have
money.
Twitter. They didn't have Twitter 1,000 years ago, 500
Exactly.
years ago.
That's a perfect picture there. That's what the king or the prince, whatever.
Yes.
He's like symbol kid now.
Yeah.
So remember Prince the singer when he knocked his
Irving, the
name out?
man of 1,000 faces.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes. Yeah, but
Jack-
I remember what was it? What was it? Who said that in the chatter room? So
Damn.
that said the
You've
said
been
the
working.
baby?
Oh, my brother's there. You know, that looks like his body. I hate
Hello.
to say.
yes.
Yeah, oh, I love it.
The
Okay, here we go.
Senadoras, Doritos Locos
Oh,
Tacos.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, come on. Oh, that's my favorite one. That's when I
O.J.
used to-
Simpson would be
That's when I
funny.
used to be buff.
O.J. Simpson said to me, "That would it be so funny the baby came out
Man,
black?"
I'll tell you. It's freaking ridiculous, don't you think?
What?
I mean, they come out, the white girl and the Indian guy, and they come out and they put it on this stand, and then you can't even read it because the people like 100 freaking feet back.
Yeah.
And
The
it's
thing is-
stupid.
The thing is this: the reason why they have an Indian guy because one, India used to be a British colony, and two, there are a lot more Indian people than Asian people than black people in England.
Let me just say this: Prince George
Well,
hated
it's
Gandhi.
the all-American garment.
He hated Gandhi.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So they don't have this love for the Indian people. They hated Gandhi.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Gandhi was assassinated by somebody. That's another conspiracy.
Another conspiracy, yeah.
But he was assassinated by another Indian guy.
Well, they could pay him. Look at what happened with Kennedy. Kennedy was killed by a redneck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a white guy. He wasn't a black guy.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. You never know.
News flat and focus
No.
us news.
What do we
flash.
got?
Oh, baby is not an American. Yeah.
Yeah, he's born a parasite. You're right, American Dad. Because these kids are going to live on welfare. By the way, the Queen just gave herself like a $5 million raise.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
To take
For
care of
what?
the grandchild, I guess.
No, so she can carry a
Great-grandchild.
bigger purse? What the hell does she do besides carrying that purse everywhere? What does she do?
Maybe
She's got her
she's
vibrator in there.
maybe she's packing.
She's probably got a collection, one for each
Yeah.
day of the week.
Yeah, you never know.
What?
I'm just saying.
Imagine
I don't know
having
what the hell
sex.
the whole pompous thing is all about. And of course, we Americans love a spectacle. We love it.
Yeah, we love disasters or something.
Thank God that we don't have that succession where. Could you imagine like having like, well, besides Bush,
Yeah.
you know, look at what
Family.
happened with Bush. We had the father and the son. Yeah. Could you imagine having a
Yeah.
line of succession where you know your next president's gonna be?
Mm-hmm.
Thank God we don't have that
We
system.
almost had it again with the Kennedys.
Yeah.
Manny says, speaking of Kennedy, Manny says Kennedy was
God,
killed
look at all
by the
these
CIA. Says Kennedy was killed by the CIA and a few other nomads with the blessings of the bankers of the world.
Wow.
Bankers. Jeez.
Well, look, I gotta say hello to all these people because we got so many new people and so many new chatting.
Yes, we have.
And I want to give a
45.
shout out
Yes.
out of respect to all of them and some other shit. It's all politics. But I want to say hello. Kind of like, oh, look who just jumped on. I'm going to say hello to Seaflow, DS Photo Guy, Michelle Stacy, good morning. American Dad, Ashley34 ATT, California Spring, Donnie Curry, Freaky 0815, Gay Realities. Nice to have you, Gay Reality. George Zimmerman, welcome, George. You should be out on the street trying to help people or kill.
Okay.
One or the other. Is this real? And of course, LWR Ventures is back. One of our old viewers and friends here, Manny. Michelle Berger, Montana Springs, Mr. Wobblehead, Nicole 3000, O.J. Simpson. Shoot, we got so many stars.
Mr.
here.
Juice.
Yeah, baby.
Juice.
Pastrella. Pastretta.
Mm-hmm.
Real Man Porns. Something else. Rocco. Vorp FTW. Vorpa by 2. And Hydroponic, who was the first one on this morning. And lastly, but never least, Mike 22.
62. Mike 62.
Welcome all. Thank you all. And
You don't win anything.
we are, yeah, well, you win some accolades.
Yes, we're just
Well, we
glad
really
that
do
you're here.
appreciate you coming on. And already we're number 1.
Yes. And speaking of number 1, we'll
Yeah.
go talk about 100 years. We have Ed has the video, if you don't mind rolling. We'll talk about 100 years of the T-shirt.
Of the T-shirt
Of the
today,
T-shirt,
100
yes.
years old. Happy birthday T-shirts.
Yes.
Thank God for the T-shirt.
It's really hard to imagine
Yeah.
your wardrobe, mine, probably even yours,
Yeah.
all you folks out there, without a single T-shirt in it. But until a century ago, they simply didn't exist.
The T-shirt is now 100 years old, a purely American invention that can be almost anything we want it to be. Here's Fox 9's Rob Olson.
I don't know.
I love it when people say they want to be on TV.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's
well-
wrong with her? Unlike her camera-evading friend behind me, when it came to the topic of talking your favorite T-shirts, Andrea got a bit excited.
Oh, here, I got it. I got the answer. Okay, my favorite T-shirt, an intramural 3-on-3 volleyball T-shirt from Iowa State University.
From what year?
2000. It would be 2000.
Sometimes T-shirts are just something to wear, but often they are so much more. 1D is One Direction, right?
Yeah.
Like the girls we found awaiting the One Direction concert, hoping their homemade T-shirts get them some boy band eyeballs. Will you ever get rid of these T-shirts?
No.
We all do have T-shirts. We probably should not anymore. Why do you still have that shirt? 13 years old.
Okay. You know how the old T-shirts, they wear thin and they get softer.
And you sleep in that one?
I sleep in that one.
Yeah, how do I know
It's
it?
my jammies T-shirt.
You got holes in it too?
No.
Has anyone ever tried to throw it away?
No.
The T-shirt originated in the Navy in 1913 and remained underwear until the 50s, thanks to Marlon Brando. In the 60s, we began tie-dyeing them. In the 70s, began decaling them. In fact, the I Heart New York T-shirt still ranks the most iconic of all time. And then in the 80s, we began wearing them with suits.
We've got some of the softest blended American-made cotton modal shirts.
And now entrepreneurs like Brian Felsen base their business on cool T-shirts. He began with the 612 clothing line and now has branched into the LGGK line. Cool T-shirts which partly benefit people with hearing loss.
Yeah, inside each one of our hang tags, we put a pair of noise reduction earplugs. We want to make hearing protection relevant and cool.
It was either exercise gear or underwear for a long time.
Absolutely. And, you know, today people wear it not just when they wake up in the morning or when they get home from work, but everyone has their favorite T-shirt, whether it's from a concert, an event, a sports team. Not everybody has a suit in their closet, but most everyone has a T-shirt.
And now you find T-shirt businesses everywhere online. We've come a long way in 100 years, and some of our T-shirts look like they're nearly that old. If it's that valuable, at what point do you stop sleeping in it and frame it and hang it on the wall?
Ooh. This is such a contradiction. I'm not a nostalgic person to the point of I'd hang something on the wall.
But these girls are. You made a t-shirt for Justin Bieber and framed it?
We met him that day.
What do you do for something that's 100 years old?
You do a bunch of interviews on TV. People
Except with
still
your
wear
friend
them,
over there.
Except for with her, who's wearing the t-shirt right now.
In Minneapolis, Rob Olson, Fox 9 News.
And
Wow.
I have my
100
own
years.
favorite T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
No,
They
it's
are
still like
unique.
that.
They are unique.
Oh yes.
It glows
They
in
are
the dark.
unique. They're like the jeans. Like
Oh yeah.
jeans are like what? Like 1,000 years old? No, not that.
No,
much,
not that
but-
old.
But they've been around.
They've been
a
around
few
for
hundred
since
years.
150, maybe 100. Well, more than 150.
Yeah, more than 100. Whatever. But anyway, the T-shirt is a great invention.
Yes, very good invention. As I
Yeah.
said, it was first invented by the U.S. Navy, and regular American folks, civilians, they started making it popular. Well, through Marlon Brando and
Right.
a streetcar named Desire, he made it popular. So
Yeah.
who would've
Well-
thought? The Godfather, Don calling Marlon Brando.
Oh, what does it say on my T-shirt? This is from the time that we were, of course, down at Roasted.
Yeah, we were at the Roaster Cafe.
Well, we used to
have the morning roast.
Yeah.
And it says "Save the Wall."
broadcast. Save the wall. There was a big deal about a wall they put up.
There was
and,
a big
you
wooden
had
wall.
to be here during that time. Maybe LW Ventures remembers all that shit that we were having. And it was a great time.
Basically, it was a big wooden
Can you
wall.
see it? Can you see it?
It was a big wooden
All right,
wall
here we
that,
go.
that
It
Roast
says
used to have.
"Save the Wall," and it has a real picture that was converted. And then, of course, in the back, I'm giving them free publicity. It says "Roasted." That's the cafe that we used to broadcast out of.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, they're still doing great. Actually, their business is going up, but more at night.
That's my shirt right there.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go. That's Ed's
And
T-shirt.
it glows in the dark.
Yeah,
Had it since 1990.
yeah.
Wow.
And he hasn't washed it once. Yeah.
Haven't
I knew you were going to like that hydroponic.
It's LMA.
Well, it was either the skeletons doing it or pigs doing it.
Yeah.
And I chose the skeleton.
Well, yeah.
Somebody's doing it.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah.
So that do us part.
And beyond.
And beyond. Skeletor.
Making, bacon, and making.
Yep, that's what we're always doing.
you now, He-Man.
But
We are going to be the city of bacon, big consolidated bacon. Bacon.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, so God bless the T-shirt and God save the T-shirt.
Yes.
Screw the Queen.
You can screw the queen.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
woman needs to retire. She walks around, she looks like an old hound. You know when hounds get ugly and old and they walk around?
To those who are watching
With
us
a
from
frickin' purse.
those who watch us on the internet through
She
from
got
the,
that LL Cool J hat.
from the UK. For those who are watching us at the UK, the words of Irving Martinez are his and his alone, and does
Yeah,
not
you
reflect-
have the same sentiments. Don't give it bullshit. You agree with me.
I got more
I just had to
breaking
put a
news.
disclaimer.
I got more breaking news.
Okay.
This
Oh, we
tops
got-
all. This tops everything.
Okay.
You're right, Volvo
The
Bike.
kettle
We're gonna
calls
get
the
it
kettle
one.
black.
Yes.
We're gonna get a T-shirt made up eventually, and then we're gonna give
Yes.
it away. We're gonna
We'll go
run
ahead.
a contest.
I'll go ahead and get into that story.
All right, here we go.
Oh, I showed them what the T-shirt will look like.
Yes. Miley Cyrus.
Oh my God, is that the first thing that we can come up with?
Hey, that's the one that he padded out, and plus
All right,
I'll get it.
God.
It says, Miley Cyrus calls Justin Bieber stupid, suggests he take a break.
Look who's talking.
What?
Look who's talking. That little twerk.
Little twerk. Not twerk, twerk.
Yeah. Little twink.
Just one little video. It says Miley Cyrus knows a thing or two about growing up in a public eye, and she has a few words of wisdom for her pal Justin Bieber, who has done more than his share of acting out in bizarre ways this past year.
Freaking kid. How much wisdom
Says,
does
I
she
told Justin to take a bit of time out, and people are obsessed with you and nitpick, because that's not really cool. The 20-year-old singer
Like she's
told
helping.
told
She's
the
only
UK
giving him
paper
more
The Sun.
publicity.
So, that's what she said to the UK paper, The Sun. You know, when you're not around, all they want is your music, you know, because that's really cool. And they want to see what the next thing is. But when your music is out there, they just want to talk shit about you. Because that ain't cool. That ain't cool at all. As a conversation Cyrus and Bieber seem to have had on more than one occasion, since Cyrus says that I always tell him, just be cool. Always be cool. And I talk about it because when you talk about it, it fuels the fire. And that ain't cool.
You know what?
That
She
ain't cool
needs
at
to
all.
eat shit and die already. That's what she needs. I mean, you know, who cares?
It doesn't sound as though Bieber is very good at taking advice, since the next breath Cyrus admits he's still stupid though, and that ain't cool. But everyone does dumb stuff every time when they messed up, and he done some dumb stuff. If it was your friend pissing on a mop box, then you would be laughing. But because it's just Bieber, then it's really bad, and that ain't cool. And that ain't cool at all.
You know, that's making me hate her even more. Your voice is really... I couldn't hate anybody more now. Right now. Well, I don't really hate. I don't know her. She got a nice butt, but that's about it.
Yeah, from twerking.
Or if you
Yeah,
got your
twerker.
you got your Facebook open?
Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna send you a story.
Oh, great. But, who cares? Oh, by the way, here's a big news. Her father's not divorcing the mother.
Okay. That's good.
Like, good for them. But
It's just-
it doesn't pay my rent.
Yeah.
It doesn't provide any food on my table. It gives me no freaking joy to hear any of their music. I certainly don't look at them and say, oh, they're making my day.
Okay.
In other words, who gives a crap about these people? Why are these people even on the news?
Well, I guess to pass
Got
time
so
away,
many
I
good
guess.
people out
They
there.
have to pass time away.
Why can't Volpobite be on it?
Even Michelle Stacy says she has no butt. All she did was twerk her crack. you
Yeah.
know?
Check
No,
your
that's
messages.
true.
Check your messages.
Okay, I got a message here.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Employee, is that the one?
Yep.
Oh my God, okay. This is going to be good for you people who like bread.
Kind of graphic, but
Yeah, all right. A Subway employee, he puts his penis on sandwich bread. Another freezes his urine at work. Thank you, Ed. This is more like news that's so important, people. Especially if you like to eat out a
if you
lot.
eat Subway, I'll never eat Subway again. What are
It's
you
a
crazy?
Subway sandwich. Artist admitted today to putting his penis on the store's sandwich bread and posting a photo of it on Instagram. I'm sure there are a lot of people getting off on that bread.
Good enough.
I'm serious. Where's that picture of the woman who's swallowing the bread from Burger King? It looks like a whatever.
Yeah.
The bombshell comes after HuffPost Weird News received several photos posted by two men in Columbus, Ohio. You see, those people in the middle Midwest are all nuts.
Where's
They're either killing people and putting them in plastic bags in Cleveland.
It says Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, that's out there.
Yeah, well, that town is dying.
Yeah, that's
I think they're gonna
that's
return back
that's
to
around
it.
that vicinity.
Yeah.
Just,
Gary,
Oh,
Indiana's
by
a
the way-
dead city.
uh-huh.
Subway, all their meat is turkey based. Even their
Turkey.
salami.
Wow, I knew that.
The
I knew
salami
that.
and the pepperoni too.
I knew their cheese tasted like turkey.
We
anyway-
said the meat. I don't know about the cheese.
You never know. But in Columbus, Ohio, go figure. Isn't that where, like Cleveland, Ohio, where they constantly are murdering people and all that?
Kidnapping them.
Kidnapping,
and
they have
holding them hostage
serial
for
killers.
10, 15
They
years.
got all sorts of stuff happening in Ohio.
Yeah, that's where they found the bodies wrapped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's still more, I think.
And did you see the mayor?
Yeah.
The mayor looked like the killer. I swear to God. If you saw the mayor.
Why do you say that? Are you profiling? 'Cause
No,
he's
no.
black?
If you look at the mayor, I'm looking at the mayor like, you know, talking about the murder of these women that this young kid did. And he's in jail, or they're going to, who knows what's going to happen to him. But they then switch the picture over, and the mayor comes out, and I'm like, he looks exactly like the same, like they could be brothers. Who knows? But anyway, Their Twitter, Instagram pages are festooned. Whoever wrote this is real a-hole. With photos of the exploits. In several photos, Subway's signature bread is shaped into a penis. One of the men, Cameron Boz, admitted on Instagram that today at work I froze my pee in a water bottle. These people have too much time on their hand.
Yeah.
Too much. Something's going on with America, don't you think?
Yeah.
People going nuts.
It's like, make it don't you want to go to
It's
those
Monsanto, don't you know that?
I mean,
It's Monsanto.
we're celebrating. Look, we have guys like Kanye West that we love and literally, you got people that'll give that guy a blowjob any day. Sure, he'd take it too. You got guys like Jay-Z who were like former drug addicts or drug dealers.
Drug dealers.
Drug dealers.
Yeah, you
who are
can't
now
you can't get high.
glorified.
You can't be me in there being high. I'm
Yeah.
just-
You got guys like Zimmerman who are like heroes to some people.
Yeah.
You got guys like girls like Miley Cyrus that people care about what she said.
She's a buttless wonder, yet
Yeah.
she's twerking.
You got pictures of Geraldo Rivera now all over
On the
with,
internet.
naked pictures
with
of
his
it.
shirt off.
Yeah, with his shirt off. You got fat women tumbling off of roller coasters.
Yeah. Michelle says, yeah, I agree with you. Only thing, Hero ain't nothing but a sandwich. I'm sorry.
Oh, guess who's on?
That's just what I said, Rocco.
Oh boy. Hello, Morning Rose. Oh my God, look who's on. Go ahead, Manic Man.
Manic Man. Out here live, I, being a special newscaster for the Morning Rose on Precise Street and Professional Drive, holding signs.
Well, I'll tell you, we were just talking about penises, so it's kind of like very apropos that you called.
Yeah, about the story about the guy who took a penis in his bread dough working at Subway. And
Yeah, Subways.
and
Make
froze
sure
his
when you go to
urine.
Subway, check your bread.
Yeah, check your bread, man. And your lemonade. You may not be.
They
you may
also
be some
shape the
urine.
bread like a penis. And they froze the pea so that they can serve it as lemonade.
Yeah. Make you want to go to Quiznos now, huh?
You gotta come up with a whole different term for that other than Smoriglio.
Well,
Yeah.
let me just say this, Anthony. Ever since you left, we have more quality news. I guess we need more of your input.
Yes.
I believe that.
Yes.
Yeah, we have more quality news here. News that's breaking. News that's important.
It's even crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
just about anybody that doesn't have a half a brain.
What local news broke? I heard about some kid getting beat up at some club called the Happy Club.
The Happy Club?
Did y'all talk about that yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. Some local news about some kid was 15-year-old kid was beat Sunday night at some club on I believe it was on Eisenhower Parkway called the Happy Club.
Happy
Might have been
Club.
like a teen club. And I think he was 15 years old, but he wouldn't talk to the police, but his friend said that 10 guys came up to them in the club and then started beating the guy up.
Mm.
And then later that night, somebody's house was shot up, and the father at the house said that his son was at the Happy Club that night, so it's probably connected.
Wow.
Man, talk about irony. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, real damn happy, isn't it?
Yeah.
By the way, Anthony, who cares?
I could be real politically incorrect though and say it was called the Nappy Club, but then you all get mad at me, and then all the chatters would
Yeah.
hit the shit.
Yeah. Move around
Nappy
along.
Club.
Anyway, so you having fun?
Yeah, it's funny. I just tried to call in at Mix in the morning, and I started talking to Scott, the producer. I said, Scott, bring the live eye out here. Go ahead and bring the camera out here. He started talking. He said, no, I can't do that, man.
Scott's the kid with the glasses, right?
What's that?
Scott is the kid with the glasses.
Yeah.
He's a cool kid. I like him. He's about the only one I like on that show.
Yeah.
And Gail, I like Gail.
Well, it was funny. Gail Daniels walked out of the building about an hour ago. I guess she was trying to sneak past me, and I heard the door click shut, and I turned around, and it was her, and she kind of smirked at me, and I pointed at her. I said, all right now. And she got in the car and left. So.
Yeah, I know. She hates you. Yeah, but look, so I'm holding the phone up in order for you to be heard. How are you holding up your sign if you're on the phone with us?
I am, because one hand's holding the sign and the other hand's holding the phone.
Wow. Yeah, you're ambidextrous.
But I'm going to leave here in about a half hour.
Well, shoot over, say hello, and then get the hell out of here again if you want.
I told Scott right there at the Mix in the Morning, the Mess in the Morning guys, I told Scott on the phone, I said, I'm going to leave here and go to the Board of Elections on Pinono, and I'm going to stand right there in front of Rickard's signs that he has all over the place.
Okay, good. Just don't pee on it.
I figure if he can put his signs there, I'll stand right where his signs are.
Okay.
And I don't know. There's what? I believe there's 2 more people that have to qualify. I know, according to the Telegraph news that I saw last night, I think Sam Hart and Charlie Bishop didn't go and re-qualify yet. I guess they'll be doing that today or tomorrow.
I hope they don't run. Those 2 scumbags, they can't run. I'm serious.
Well, no, I'm sure they're going to stick in it. I mean,
I'm
already
sure.
paid their money. Yeah.
I'm serious. Those 2 guys are terrible. They're the reason why I'm making the show behind in the time. You know, and it's funny. It's usually the quietest guy in the room. Speaking of which, is the most dangerous one. Right, Derek?
Yes.
It's the quietest guy in the room. That's usually the one that's diabolical.
That's right.
You and I are pussycats, aren't we, Ann? People absolutely love to hate us.
He's like a
They
jaguar.
do love to hate us. That's what it's all about. I can't hear half what you're saying. I'm just agreeing, so.
All right, well.
You might be saying shit like, is it true they found Polaroids of you wearing fishnet stockings a couple years ago?
Oh, it's all right. Oh, by the way, your head's shaped like a penis. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? There you go. That's for you.
It is the fucking world, and I'd be agreeing because I can't hear you.
You know what? I can't hear you either. By the way, call back.
Okay, see you. Bye.
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 All right, there you go. He can hear that. Shit. Anyway, good. That was Anthony Harris, a.k.a. Nutcase. That's why we changed the name from Nuthouse to Doghouse, because once he's gone, there's no longer Nuthouse.
Yeah, but we do have a dog now.
Anyway, Rocco, you doing well? Remember, Rocco, you can go off on people, just don't be a racist. Anyway, we gotta have better news than this crap, please. For God's sake.
I do have one.
Serious.
I do have a serious.
Please.
It says Obama is going to move forward a plan to arm the Syrian rebels.
Yeah.
This from CNN. President Barack Obama is in a position to move forward with a plan to arm Syrian rebels. An official said yesterday after concerns raised by Congress were resolved.
Yeah.
The comments came a few hours after House Intelligence Committee Chairman Mike Rogers, a Republican from Michigan, seemed to clear the path for the plan to proceed. But some lawmakers had moved to stop the plan from being put into action, citing concerns over a lack of explanation on strategy and questions about how the groups receiving aid would be vetted. And Rogers said that in a statement, that the House Intelligence Committee has very strong concerns about the strength of the administration's plans in Syria and its chances for success. It says, after much discussion and review, we got a consensus that we could move forward with what the administration's plans and intentions are in Syria, consistent with committee reservations. But U.S. military involvement in Syria would likely cost billions of dollars and carry a range of risk for the forces involved, Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Martin Dempsey said in a letter released yesterday. It says it is no less than an act of war, pretty much. And he also wrote that the United States had learned from the past 10 years that it is not enough to simply alter the balance of military power without careful consideration of what is necessary in order to preserve a functioning state. And that Syria intervention could be an act of war that could cost billions.
Yeah, they're going to drag us into another freaking war.
Yes.
I mean, we just ended one, kind of. We got some
Iraq,
bullshit.
yeah.
We're still in there. Don't give me this crap that we ended that war. That war is not over. We're still spending money in that war. Just covertly. It's like they hired some outsourced company. Do some uniforms on there. Here, go pretend that you're military. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing. And Cheney is behind all this.
Don't say nothing.
Yeah, don't say anything. You know, I can't believe Dick Cheney's still alive.
We're going to Syria.
That Dick Cheney. That son of a bitch, he's got like 10 hearts already. I mean, the most heartless man in the world. Too. And he's like the most heartless guy in the world. And he's so heartless that they had to give him a new one.
Yes.
Because the old one was like a bad Yuko.
Yeah, bad Yuko.
It didn't go anywhere.
You don't like it? Go hunting with me. Yeah, go hunting.
That is funny.
Where's my rifle? Oh, I got it.
That's hydropon. Dick Cheney is your hero. It goes figure. Rocco.
Yes.
Dick Cheney, you know.
That should have been a hit and a half right there.
Good guy young. And he proves your point. That son of a bitch is going to outlive Sphinx.
This is a Sphinx. This photo guy says, Cheney drinks the blood of babies. That's how he stays youthful and shit.
Yeah.
Well, youthful? I don't know about youthful, but he is still alive.
You know, that
should have been a hit and a half right there. You got a vice president named Dick and a president named Bush 8 to 12 years ago. You should have known you were going to get screwed one way or another.
There you go.
But that's not simple.
You got to hit that.
No, you're right.
How your dick hanging?
Jack.
Yes.
I'll tell you. Anyway. Oh, by the way, Obama was all giddy and having an orgasm over this kid. And he says, President Obama said the new prince, British prince, whatever,
has been born at a time, promise and opportunity.
The hell does that mean?
Britain and United
Promise
States.
and opportunity. Our freaking country's bankrupt.
Yes.
And they're living off welfare.
You see,
of course, a promise and prosperity. The kid is going to get welfare.
But you don't understand it. You don't understand. There's a mystery loves company. Obama said in a written statement that he and First Lady Michelle wish Prince William and his wife Kate all the happiness and blessings parenthood brings.
Yeah, right. What about the hard times that parents go through?
They have to cross that bridge when they get
and they won't. They have nannies to make sure that doesn't happen and pick up their slack.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Jack.
Yes.
By the way, his statement came less than 2 hours. So they were still wiping the afterbirth off of it.
That's TMI,
They're wiping the afterbirth. Wax on, wax off. The kid still had blood all over his face, and he's already saying, "Oh, congratulations." Yes. I just wonder how far that kid flew.
Good morning, Jeff Adams. Jeff Adams shows here.
Oh, Jeff Adams is on. Good morning. Where the hell have you been, Mr. Adams?
Yeah.
Good to have you on.
Yes.
By the way, I'm supposed to be co-hosting your show about 3 months ago, no? I know you're working.
Thank you, Jim Crow. I appreciate the compliments. It's kind of look like the younger Obama back when he had a fro.
There you go. Mark 1979. What the hell does she say?
I just caught you. Just put a cigarette, hang a cigarette out of your mouth. You know the picture they got of them?
Oh, yeah.
From way back?
Yeah, I can see that.
Anyway, Montana Spring is working, twerking, and the same thing. There we go. Michelle, Gay, Montana, Michelle Berger, California Spring, Mr. Wobblehead. What the hell? Michelle, I think you took 3 pills too many. What else? What else is in the news, Derek?
Well, of course, you know...
There's got to be more than this.
Well, there's got it. Well, definitely more. Well, you know, Comic-Con ended yesterday.
Yeah.
This weekend, I should say, this past Sunday, where they have a whole lot of comic books and nerdy stuff, geekorama that's been
You know,
going
put
on.
out a comic book. There's that civil rights leader here from Georgia.
There you go, Derek.
What's his name?
John Lewis.
Yeah,
Okay.
he put out a comic book
Oh.
on his life.
Yeah.
Well, so what is it that he gets trampled on? I mean, that he survived. I mean, he keeps talking about that. I
Oh.
almost died.
Well, he did almost die.
Right? Well, yeah, he did. But Jesus.
But I mean, he didn't. I don't know if he got any bionic legs or anything like that.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like, you know, we
His
could rebuild
head
it.
was, somebody bumped his head with their shoe. I mean,
Yeah,
not to
repeatedly.
take anything away from the guy, but I'm just saying, I almost died.
Well, so have I many times. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember back camping. I almost got hit by a deer.
Yeah.
You know, and if one of my friends just pushed me out the way, and he just happened to hit a little baby tree and knock that sucker over. I was like, dang, if they killed that tree, I know it could have killed me.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that's
geez.
true. Hello, Miss Bean.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, Bean?
There we go. Bean is on. My God, we got a whole audience right here. Jesus,
Yeah.
I always said it.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell did I always say?
Yeah, what did you say?
Yeah, baby. That's what I always said. What? Welcome everybody. Oh, Black Moses is on. I love it. Hey, down. Yeah, I always said Moses was black. He was from Egypt. Aren't they African?
Well, mostly. Well, I mean,
Well,
Egypt isn't Africa,
it's
but,
in the
but they're
continent.
Arab. Yeah, I mean, good number of
They say you got bitten by Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's one of my heroes.
That's your Brooklyn.
I can't stand that guy, and it's funny. Maybe that's the reason why. Yeah, it's either that or Spike Lee or something else.
Speaking of which, Spike Lee has a new movie coming out with Josh Brolin.
Wow.
Well, that's what he does.
It's going to be another one of those self-righteous movies?
No, it's going to be one of those creepy, supposed vampire-esque movies, I think called Blood Addiction or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's about vampires or about people who are anemic. Who knows? But, if you want to, you could donate some money to it through, I guess, through Kickstarter. He's trying to.
Anemia.
Yeah.
That sounds like a girl's name. Come here, Anemia.
Anemia.
Come here, sweetheart. Sit on my lap, Anemia.
Anemia. That's like
Sorry,
saying.
it does sound like a girl's name, doesn't it, folks? Anemia.
So does alopecia, but I ain't gonna name my. If I had a daughter, I'd
That's
not
better
name
than
it that.
Dick. And
Yeah.
Bush.
Yeah, I want to name my daughter alopecia. Yes. What does your name mean? It means male pattern baldness. Yes.
Yeah. Anemia. Oh, I'm sorry about that, DS. I didn't mean to bring up anemia. Lola died from the type of anemia. His little doggy.
I see.
She's
I'm sorry.
14 years old or something like that.
She did live a long time.
She did live a long time. Mm-hmm. My mother used to say, for a bird, she's flown far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of birds who didn't flew that far,
isn't that great?
It was said it was a pretty chaotic about this Southwest jet that collapsed.
Dude, every day I'm hearing about airplane crashes. Didn't they say that you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than being in a plane crash?
Yeah.
Well, lightning is striking more than twice in this case, right?
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah,
Why don't you read that story?
Yes, about 10 people suffered minor injuries yesterday when the nose gear of the Southwest Airlines jetliner collapsed after landing in New York LaGuardia's airport, the City Ports Authority reported. Southwest Flight 345 was landing at LaGuardia from Nashville about 5:40 p.m. when the accident occurred. The nose of the blue and orange jet came to rest on the ground after the aircraft came to a stop and passengers evacuated the aircraft on emergency slides. It says that the aircraft skidded down the runway on its nose and then veered off and came to a rest in a grassy area between the runway and the taxiway. Foxtrot, said Thomas Bosco, the airport's general manager. What he said to reporters, it stopped about halfway down the 7,000-foot runway.
Wow.
Kathy Bowles, a passenger of the Boeing 737, said a strong jolt could be felt inside the cabin when the gear failed and the nose slammed into the tarmac. Miss Bowles also added that, told Anderson Cooper's 360, says it was just a bang and a bounce and then a slam on the brakes and a skidding feeling. You know, she said she said she felt extremely blessed to come off of that. It just really felt like the plane could have broken in half. It was just such a hard impact. Now that's something.
Unbelievable. More planes, more...
And 100 people were on that flight.
Train. Well, actually, we had a lot of train accidents.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of plane accidents. We had a lot of automobile accidents. Remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Planes, trains, and automobiles?
Yeah.
That was a comedy, but this is a...
This is definitely no comedy.
This is not a comedy.
But it's very interesting.
Isn't it? Think about it. All right, don't think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if you're going to get on a plane today.
Yes, indeed.
And make sure that you pray. That way you give yourself your last rites.
Yeah. Yes.
Or sit next to a priest.
Matter of fact, this incident followed a runway crash of an Asiana jetliner in San Francisco.
Yeah, we know about that.
That killed 3 people and injured.
You don't have to bring that up, Mr. Stupid-ass writer.
Yeah. 180 people that were injured on that plane. Wow.
Well, one good thing is that people are living with these plane crashes. Of course, they're going to be like completely traumatized for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be falling off their beds quite often.
Yeah.
But at least they're living. What the hell?
Yeah. That is true.
Anyway.
That is true.
What else is in the news, Derek? I'm sure that we have... Oh, by the way, I want another shout-out, Newton Collier. Happy birthday, buddy. It is his 100th birthday. Wow.
It's not... 68.
Yeah,
68.
All right.
68 birthday.
I'm a few months... Holy crap.
Has it been an hour already?
Wow. Talk about horseshit.
Yeah, that's kind of... And we are back. We're into the second hour of the Morning Roast live from the Doghouse here in Macon, Georgia, with Irv, Ed, and DB right here. It's 73 degrees right outside. It's partly cloudy in Macon with a high of 88 and a low of 73. It will be raining like it has been for the past 3.5 weeks.
Wow. Well, we have somebody going to call in about 2 minutes. And we have yet to show what we have. So when he calls in, Ed, I just send you the link. And then hopefully we'll be able to show that while he's on the phone. This is really about a very important issue that needs to be dealt with. I think it is about fathers and how we... basically, fathers are being neglected. And it's one of the reasons why we're in the shithole that we're in. Because everybody thinks, the mom, is single moms and mothers are the ones that nurture and all that. When in fact, the father does play a very important role in the lives of raising your kids. I know that I thank God that even though my mom was the primary caretaker, my father was around, and I'm glad for that. So that's something that we're going to talk about. And the gentleman that is going to be calling is from Creative Films, which is part of the
Mangelo Productions, the people who worked with the director Michelangelo,
right,
with his film, recent film, Imprisoned by Love, as well as other works such as Single in the ATL 1 and 2. Yeah. And Words to Kill. That was another movie that is. I got that on DVD, which happened to be selling that during the premiere last week. It's a very good drama. I'll definitely hopefully Irv will get a chance to check it out and watch it if I bring it here.
That's sure. And that's him. I know it is. Yep. All right, let's get him on, and here we go.
Here we go.
Good morning, the Morning Roast. Good, how are you, sir? Hold on, I'm going to put you on speaker. Hold on to that while I get the box.
Okay.
Go ahead, buddy.
Julio, you're on the air.
All right, how's it going?
Doing great, doing great. How are you?
Good. Enjoying another day above ground. Beautiful thing.
Definitely.
Now, I know that I was having trouble getting your link on to send to Ed, but I believe Ed has it now.
It's converting.
And we're going to play it while you're here, and then we're going to talk about this. But before we do that,
tell us about your history in filmmaking and.
Yeah, and then also delve into a little bit about what the subject matter is on the fatherhood in jeopardy.
Okay. Well, my name is, most people know me by Creative Films, which is my name on Facebook. My government name is Eugene Bussey, and basically, I started with film originally from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I started in New York working actually with a publicity company, but the gentleman's name is Angela Ellaby. So I had the opportunity to work with a lot of different celebrities, recording artists, and
well, name some celebrities, because our chat is, all they hear is about Miley Cyrus and Justin Bieber.
Well, I've worked. Currently, I'm working with J. Anthony Brown. I filmed a day in the life of J. Anthony Brown, which was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the opportunity to work with Tyler Perry Studios when I first got here in Atlanta.
By the way, I want to get into Atlanta, and I've been wanting to meet Tyler Perry for quite some time now.
Yeah, that actually kind of fell into my lap through a friend of mine who had worked at Tyler Perry Studios for quite some time. I came here anticipating to get into doing my own type of production and doing my own, productions. And a friend of mine actually gave me a call that they needed someone. So you can see some of my work that I did at Tyler Perry Studios on his website, behind the scenes. I did a lot of behind the scenes shooting. My name also falls in the credits on some of his DVDs that he did, Medea's Christmas, Aunt Bam's Place. So, I had the opportunity to do that. With Jim Blue Films on the Red Tails premiere. I've been afforded, been blessed to have done some very interesting projects. It's the sky's the limit. Anything that you could think of. Fast forward to now, because of my own personal experiences, I decided to do this documentary. A friend of mine actually said that I should. It took me a while, but I finally said, you know what, I do need to do this documentary about child support. It's a very broad and big issue, but it's a silent killer of fathers and fatherhood. You do have, let me be very clear with what I have to do with most people to assure them, particularly women, is that I'm not saying that there aren't any deadbeat dads out there. They are out there, and they deserve everything that they get for not taking care of their child. What I'm dealing with in this documentary is the fathers who want to be a father to their child, tries to be a father to their child, but when you have a vindictive mother and you have a court system who preys on locking people up because it's money for them, it creates havoc in trying to maintain a father.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing. Listen up, listeners, and stop talking to yourselves and pay attention. You guys are going off again on your own tangent. Pay attention. That's what you're here for. Pay attention. We got issues with fathers having afoot a lot of this bill while the mother is bad-mouthing the father, and the child tends to neglect the fact that they even have a father, don't respect the father. And I believe that's why a lot of men today, young men, are very emotional. Because they imprint on the mother more. Am I correct?
Yes, unfortunately, you have a lot of situations where you have single-parent homes, and much respect, all respect due to the women who are raising young men by themselves, and you know, you have to do what you got to do. But you know, even in relationships where they may meet another man, you know, you have to look at two factors. A man can't teach a girl how to be a woman, and a woman can't teach a boy how to be a man. There's just some innate things that men relate to because they were once little boys. So they know the thought process of what boys do, you know, how boys think. You know, some boys like to, you know, tear things apart and experiment and all these kinds of things. And there's things that girls do that, you know, that I don't know about because I wasn't a little girl. But having a father is an important factor in the child's life. The child needs a balance.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to take a look at the clip. Are we ready, Ed?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a look at the clip, so hang on, and we're going to come back to you. And yes, Vorpapa, you're absolutely right. You have to have a father in the house. And if you don't have him in the house, you have to at least have a relationship. The key to building strong communities is putting fathers back into the family unit. Let's take a look at the video. Check it out, folks.
I'm so glad to be your father. I'm so glad to be in your life.
Oh shit, the program locked up. We'll bring it back. They can hear you. Tell them to stand by.
Yes, please stand by. We just have some technical difficulties. We're still on there, just kind of locked up, but we'll definitely get that solved.
Going again. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Try this again.
And take two.
I'm so glad to be your father. I'm so glad to be in your life. I'm so glad to be your daddy.
If you working and they taking your money at the same time, why would they want to arrest you to make you lose your job, make you lose your house or your apartment? Then you have to start all over again, and they still want you to pay the money when you get out. My wife, she didn't think that we could reconcile any of our differences, so she chose to divorce me. I didn't divorce her.
Why are mothers petitioning at such high rates? Well, it's because the family court supports it, and because in the current system, mothers know they're going to get the house, they know they're going to get the children, they know they're going to get the child support, and they know that they're going to tell dad, you can see the kids when I tell you you can see the kids.
When at its worst, when you look at it, it is a system that has become a second conduit for the entry of African American and Latino and poor men in general, to drag them through the criminal justice system.
A lot of mothers got enough game about themselves to say, well, I don't know who he is. If you know what I'm saying, we could both play the system. Because the system playing us, it's a money game. They don't care nothing about the kid.
You know, it seems like the system is enabling dysfunctional families rather than to restore them, you know, with these impositions of, it's unreasonable.
They give these women too much power. You know, they need to be drug testing these women and giving them a psychiatric evaluation consistently.
in spite of the laws that says we can't take more than 50% out, well, once you get into the arrearage situation, or they can take about 70% of the money. But the fact that you might need medication to live on, a good meal, you know, what sense does it make for an adult to only be able to afford a happy meal to eat, to go to work?
We have to maintain a job. If we don't pay child support, we don't maintain a job, we go to jail. If they don't, we just get hit with more money or more responsibility to pay for it.
Basically, if the father litigates too much, they put a psychological label on that person and say he's kooky. The minute they put that label on, they lose all their constitutional rights.
They suspended my license, they took my passport. So basically you're stripped of all your rights.
Sometimes the woman will use the child or the child support or even seeing the child as a weapon against the man that she's no longer in this relationship with.
They got the men on one side, they got the women on the other. You got some women in there, you know, that are quiet, you know, they just trying to come and do their business. And you got those, you know, I got a ghetto baby mama. I got a hood baby mama. So she back there with the other hood girls, and you know, they like, oh, he's sorry, and yada yada yada.
Because of the belief that I was gay, the judge in a private meeting with my wife's attorney, without me, with this information that was obtained illegally, took away all my rights to my children.
Your Honor, I'd like to approach the bench on behalf of all the fathers that actually take care of what they're supposed to do, and all the children that are victim to their mama's games. There must be some intricate mathematical equation I've yet to discover, but the number of times he said he loved you, multiplied by the number of times he broke your heart, minus the number of times the sex wasn't all that, added to the date you all met, multiplied by the date you broke up, equals the amount of money you want from him. Your relationship failed. Since you don't give an F about him, I doubt then these court dates you're setting up are just to make him jealous. Let's take a look at the facts. He takes care of his responsibilities.
What's up? Okay.
And that was
And we're back.
Yes, we're back.
And
That
look
was-
who's here.
Look who's here.
Look who dropped by.
Is the end.
Look what the dog brought in.
All right,
I like
so
your dog. I was just petting your dog. He's a little shy.
Let me just say this. Yeah, he's a little shy. I mean,
Okay.
for a pit bull, he's the most docile creature.
He's probably just
He's the opposite of you. Anyway,
I'm here for about 35 minutes.
I still got my brother here on the phone.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, what are your plans to do with this? And you were telling me, but just repeat what you said to me. You want to go and speak in colleges and in high schools and speak to the young people to kind of look at this problem head on and try to avoid it from happening, correct?
Yeah, you know, I would like to start at the root of where this all, you know, emanates from. And so I would definitely like to go to schools, colleges, any speaking platform that I can get, churches, any type of, you know, meetings or in families, because you know, my attorney who was in that clip, she told me that she was doing a speaking engagement with young women, and the question somehow it came up, but some of these young girls who they were teenagers were stated as saying, well, when I grow up, I'm going to get married, but I'm only going to stay married for 10 years.
What the hell?
Why only 10 years? They said, well, after 10 years, I get half of everything he's got.
Ah,
yeah,
look at
because if I'm not mistaken, in certain states, I know California is one of that. If you married for more than 10 years, common law marriage, whether you're married or not, but if you stay more
7 years.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah. But if you get married, but the thing is, here's the switch. If you get married, but stay married for 10 or more years and then get divorced, the guy is obligated to give you permanent alimony. Is that correct?
That's freaking unbelievable.
That's why you
Alimony
stay.
for life.
That's why you stay poor, and then they never can get too much.
And don't ever get married.
I gave it all away. I gave it
See,
all away.
I'm in a great position if I can interject. I can
Yes,
remain poor,
please.
and still be with my wife, and hey, you can leave me if you want, but you're not getting much.
Yeah, really.
So go
You
out
can
there.
have that old coffin that I got over there.
Yeah, take that
Exactly.
Toyota.
Take that car that doesn't reverse.
Yeah, that doesn't reverse.
Go right in.
Take my bandana.
You think I care? Yeah. Take my remove record shirt.
Yeah,
Plug,
exactly.
plug.
There's nothing. There's
All right,
nothing
now let's
here.
get back to what this guy said.
Mm-hmm.
Take that used condom. Oh, never mind.
That's the thing. There's so many things that exist like that people have no clue. And I'll say one last thing that was mind blowing that I found out through this documentary. One of the gentlemen in this documentary was fighting to get visitation rights to his kids. The judge had an ex parte conversation without him or his attorney, and in doing so, took away his rights to his kids. When he asked the judges to recuse themselves, two of the judges here in Georgia did. The third judge refused to recuse himself. They began a federal investigation, so then the judge retired. Georgia law allows judges to retire to avoid prosecution.
Right.
That is something to think about. But isn't that, isn't that almost like bending the law? I mean, could that judge be disbarred for doing that? Isn't that kind of somewhat illegal?
Well, in most states, it's intolerable. But I'm saying here in Georgia, this last judge, he was able to retire to avoid prosecution. I think that as with issues that even existing in the news when you talk about Florida, the thing is, state laws are very they're very more so built to that state. So it's amazing what these state laws can do and how they create these laws, and a lot of it affects the governing body in a positive way, and in some instances everyday people run into it, but most of the time a lot of these laws are built to protect the governing body of the state.
I see.
Well, Eugene, I'm Anthony, by the way. Good to talk to you. Let me ask you this, because I have a friend named Brenda, and she posts this all over all the time, so it's not like I'm calling her out on anything. She's a loud advocate about it. But what about these judges and the parental alienation rights? What are they just kind of completely overlooking that?
Well, that's part of it. That gentleman I spoke of, that was pretty much what was happening with him was the parental alienation.
Right. Right.
What's happening with that is, one of the things that I would like to see, and I think that's fair, is that as opposed to taking a father and locking him up, if this is a father who's active in a child's life, if you think about it with me, when you lock somebody up, what you're going to do, you're going to put them on the highway and you're going to get labor out of them. But then you're going to put them back in jail. So if you got a father who wants to be a father, is trying to be a father, but he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have the ability to make money, why not allow him to work for the state without going to jail? This way it allows you to get your free labor that you're going to get anyway with him being in jail, but it also allows him to have the freedom to still be able to see his kids.
Right.
Because what's happening is that one of the first two gentlemen that you saw in the video who were in jail, one of them told me when he gets out of jail, doing his time, he still has to go live in a state-owned property, pay the state $600 a month to live there, still go out and get a job and pay child support after they have revoked his driver's license, and being arrested for child support here in Georgia is a felony, not a misdemeanor. In New York, it's a misdemeanor. If you get arrested for child support, non-payment of child support in Georgia, it's a felony. So now that's a setup for failure. How is he supposed to go out, pay the state $600 a month, go pay child support?
Right.
He revoked his license and he has a felony on his record.
Right. And I think that's one reason why so many parents and dads in particular do resort to a life of crime. I really do. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a double-edged sword because you have what you said, you have them basically being court ordered and told, look, if you don't pay this amount by this day, we're going to lock you up. So what do they say? They say, well, what's my choice?
Yeah.
Get locked up or go out and maybe try to get the money any way possible and not get caught. And if I'm caught, I'm locked up anyway. So what the hell? Why not? Either way, I'm locked up. And or they resort to selling drugs to get get that money.
Or they reach a breaking point like that one guy did, where he wanted to see his children, and basically the woman used it as a bargaining chip, said no, you can't use it, and he just went to the court and just basically. I think one guy he shot himself. No, he shot the people in the courtroom and then shot himself. And then one of them burned himself alive in there because he was denied to see his children.
I've seen Sunday 79. We're not going to tolerate any hate or any racism in the chat.
Right.
Okay, just letting you know, nothing, no personal jabs on each other. I mean, I know a lot of people you know each other, and if you're kidding around. Okay, but
that's not okay. It doesn't matter if you know each other, because people don't know whether you know each other or whatever. Once again, that is just
keep it cool.
And just keep it cool, guys. All right, and stick to the subject. Here we have a very important subject. And you guys are talking about
well, see, that's why
Cinderella.
I told you before I left this show why you don't want to pay too much attention to the chatters.
I know, but they're an
you
important
guys are all
part.
about the chatters. You're not about the chatters if they're talking about
right now,
Joe Schmo.
We got 63 views.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
good for the last 45 minutes.
Yeah. But are they talking about you or are they talking about themselves?
They're talking about the movie.
Yeah.
What movie?
About the
about this. Well, I just came in. I don't know what the hell the movie is.
So,
I just know a guy's on the phone talking about parental alienation.
Well, anyway,
and
we have enough moderators. Just know what your parameters are. Don't ban anybody until they continue to racist rant or hate speech. But don't ban them right away. First, give them an opportunity to repent, and if they don't, get them out. Goodbye. All right. We're going to continue this discussion. I'm hoping that you will come down to Macon, Georgia, and let people see who you are, and possibly co-host the show for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'd be great to get your message out, and to further along this discussion. This is not a one-time deal. This happens every day.
Yes,
it is a problem. It is something that we've addressed on the show before, where a lot of these women, they take advantage. And, it's funny to hear that they actually do that, that they say, well, I'm going to get married, and in 10 years I'm going to have money. Who said
but
that?
guys do it too. Let's be fair.
Well,
you can't. How many guys easily. You've never heard of young, strapping, handsome, physically fit guys marry these older women with a lot of money that are 67 years old that are rich as hell. That happens all the time.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, they call
let's be
cougars.
honest, Derek. Yeah, but it's the same thing. Now I know you want to hate on the women
I don't think it's an epidemic
let's be
proportion.
honest.
But it's not epidemic.
No, but it's we can find the percentages both ways. I guarantee that there's older women with lots of money that a younger man will hook to because they want to get that money.
Sure.
Or that nice car.
Or that woman, or that old woman, because
that
she's not considered
she's gonna die
attracted
soon.
by that.
Right. I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, hell,
but it's very rare.
That's kind of what Midnight Cowboy was about. I mean, there was a couple of young hustlers that were hooking up with these old, rich New York women, right?
But they don't really have kids.
But they don't.
A lot of this involves kids.
I thought the conversation was more so women that are trying to get people's money, so they divorce them at 10 years into it. To get
it's really about
fatherhood. That's just one facet.
Okay.
That's just one facet. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, it's not even close. I mean, it's just one little dent compared to like the train wreck.
That happens every day. I mean, it happens every day. I'm always hearing stories like this.
Does it happen in the homosexual community?
Well, we haven't known that yet. It's only
I'm asking Irvin because he spent a lot of time around that in the past.
I didn't.
In the past. You didn't?
God, no, I didn't. That was a problem I had.
Well, they only gotten the right to marry this year.
No, but I'm not talking about the right to marry. I'm talking about getting in a relationship with somebody strictly because you're trying to get in on what they own and what they have.
No, what this
Whether
subject
it's
really is
lesbians
about
or gay men.
is about a couple who are either married or
came in
living
the middle
together.
of
They
it.
have a kid.
Right.
Then the mother takes the kid over. I guess. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, buddy. The mother takes over the kid, starts to badmouth the father, and then demands money from him, locks him out of the child's life, and then the kid grows up without a father because the mother's so vindictive, but yet she's still collecting the money.
Well, you know who does that also.
Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, that happens most often, and that's one of the major issues and
Right.
problems is that.
And that's one of the major issues you're addressing.
Yes. And what it is that what I would like to present to women is that what they don't look at is the flip side of that. Now, here's that same vindictive woman. She goes out and meets who she thinks is the next and the greatest Prince Charming. She meets this guy. She falls in love with this new guy. Everything is going great, but hey, guess what? Now you can't have a great relationship with him because guess what? He has one of his exes he has a child by is just as vindictive as you, and it affects the relationship. So it creates a vicious cycle that she doesn't look at. Live and let live, as opposed to you being vindictive because you meet a guy and then now you can't have a relationship with him because he's got a vindictive woman in his life.
Well, you know who also does that sometimes are grandparents. Grandparents will put their grandkids against one of the parents.
Oh, yeah.
That happens a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if it's the in-law. For
Mhm.
example, say the mother's mother or father will badmouth the kid's father, i.e. their daughter's husband, in front of the grandkids, like when they babysit the grandkids.
Well,
that happens
I
a lot
think that's
too.
more about
But
they're
does
being
that go
vindictive.
to like a legal struggle?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Well, because the grandmother is involved or the grandfather is basically, if it's the mother, let's say if it's the mother's parent, the mother doesn't have any money, and the grandparents then have to foot most of the bill, so they want some compensation. And they start to call the father a loser and this and that and lock him out.
But I think it's just also people have lost respect for people in general.
Yeah,
That's why this goes on.
Very much so.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I mean, have you heard the story about Dwayne Wayne's ex? That she already got divorced and she's gotten her her settlement, but yet she's on the street for some reason. Yet she's trying to make a scene, trying to get Dwayne Wade to give her more money after the divorce has already been finalized. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I saw that. I honestly can't say that I know the total circumstances, but when you talk about on a celebrity level, a lot of things again go on behind the scenes, and media and TV portray one thing, but you really have to get to know the story because it's like Sheree on the Atlanta Housewives. There was an issue on one of the shows where Pedro, I think, who's the attorney, was saying, "Well, let's take your ex to court. Let's take your ex to court." But through resources, I found out because I know people who know them, but what they didn't publicize on TV was that Sheree had violated a court order that related to a divorce decree of what she was supposed to do. So therefore, she was in the wrong, which is why she didn't really press the issue. But it's just that sometimes things go on, and like I said, the media and word of mouth project some things that people aren't really educated about. That's what I want to bring to the table, is let you see and hear what these fathers are experiencing in trying to be a father, wanting to be a father, wanting to be a part of their child's life, but yet the system and a vindictive mother creates a brick wall between them and their child.
I see. I see. Is this film completed yet, or?
Yes, it's going to be released on iFlixTV.com. That's a video on demand site, which is.
Are you having a red carpet?
I'm going to work on that because there's some people in it that did some great work in the dramatization parts, and just for the sake of having that experience, which I've been afforded to have with Mr. Angelo over the past 3 years. I've been to his last 3 red carpets. The last 2 I actually shot and edited. So for the people that are in it, I would definitely like to go ahead and do a red carpet screening for that purpose.
What's the name of the movie?
I'm sorry?
What's the name of the movie? Since I came in the movie.
Dad's Dead.
Was it Beat Dad's Dead?
Yeah, Beat Dad's Dead. In other words, Dead Beat Dad. He's
Right.
playing on words
Cool.
here.
I like it. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to having you here as a guest and maybe possibly a co-host if you like. And I want to thank you for touching on a subject that nobody wants to go near.
Mm-hmm.
And to bringing this into light and for educating the public on a very bad, I would say, epidemic that's going on with couples and relationships and parenting and fatherhood. Thank
Well,
you.
it's probably a lot to do with why people aren't getting married as much anymore
I know.
either.
Mm-hmm.
The marriage rate's down considerably.
Yeah, well,
So,
and divorce rate is up as like
yeah.
hell.
Well, because nowadays I think also we're kind of getting away from
Traditional marriage.
Well, people hooked on religion in general.
Oh, yeah.
I think you look it up. There's more and more atheists and agnostics every decade as we go.
That's true.
And they just don't look at it the way I looked at it. I didn't. I figured if you're with somebody, you can be married to them and have that love and respect for them without having to go get a legal paper.
Right.
And you know us. I mean, Heather and I, for the longest time, we weren't legally married.
You
for
finally.
about 8 years, 9 years, we had both of our kids out of wedlock. Oh, shock. And just said, what the hell? I don't need the government to tell me I'm legally married or I love a woman. And then we finally just kind of got married and just did it really quick. And, tell you the truth, we did it, the love is there, but we also did it for tax reasons, and I'm not going to lie about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and we both...
Well, why do you think people
we both
get
agreed?
married?
No, Heather agreed with it too, sort of.
Yeah.
She's like, but because you can't force people
a
to
Tea
do
Party
something.
marriage.
Well, you can't force people to do something.
Yeah.
You can't.
No.
So.
But again, thank you so much for coming, and we appreciate your contribution to our show today.
All right. Thank
And
you.
you brought the level of our show from Miley Cyrus up to something very serious.
Yes.
From Miley Cyrus to
Yeah,
Lauren Bacall.
that's what we opened up the show with. Can
Yeah.
you imagine that? Goodness gracious.
Yeah, we look forward to see your movie playing in theaters. I hope we get some box office.
And invite these two guys to the red carpet.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure will. I sure will.
Okay, buddy. And stay in touch, will you? Oh, by the way, you're from New York, Flatbush Avenue, like I am, right?
That's right. Flat.
Yeah, baby. We got a homeboy right here.
Yes, sir.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much. God bless you, and keep up the good work.
Sounds like a good
Thank you.
call.
Y'all have a good one.
You
Thank
too.
you too.
Bye-bye.
When I caught it, sounds like a good interview.
Very good.
I didn't even know who the hell
That's,
we were talking to until
There we go. Anthony, now we can turn our attention to
We
you.
have,
No, I don't want my
that was
attention.
Mr.
No, we love
I want to
Anthony.
thank Mr. Eugene Bussey, aka Creative Films. He has a company. He does mostly editing work. His movie Beat Dad's Dad is a documentary. He usually coincides work with filmic actor director Michelangelo, who does works. If you've seen some of the trailers that he's done he's done the trailers for some of Michelangelo's movies, such as Single in the ATL 1 and 2, Words to Kill, the drama that he made
Kind of
2
like
years
the
ago.
words that you got right now,
Yeah.
Anthony.
And-
on this
and
show.
recent-
Can you put a link in the one of you put a link in the
Oh, great.
Yes, and also creativefilms.com. Thank you very much.
So now this is not the same Eugene that's your friend, Irvin, right?
No.
This is
This is
Gene
another
Mean
guy.
here.
But
Okay.
he's on Chad. That's great. Stay on there.
Because when he told me Eugene quietly in my ear, I thought it was your old Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
No, my old Eugene is DJ Mean.
Right.
On our show.
Right.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful soul he is. But this guy is a great guy. I mean,
He
we
works
talked.
with Mangelo Productions, Michelangelo's
Yeah.
movies.
And I saw him at
So
the...
was he at the last
event.
premiere?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was at the
Mhm.
premiere. I saw him
Good
there.
deal.
I think that's where I met him there. And somehow we were Facebook friends. I didn't even know. It goes to show you how small this world is, huh?
Yes, very small.
Especially in Georgia.
But
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to more of his projects. Anything you want. He's known as Busey 8. Is it Busey? Am I right?
Yes.
Or Bussy?
It may be Bussy.
Bussy.
Maybe Bussy.
Yeah.
8. Okay.
Well, he's on as Bussy 8. Okay, Bussy. Got it. Bussy 8. Please stay in contact with us. Come on every day if you want. And maybe you can come up with another subject matter by just watching these knuckleheads on our show and see what the problems are there. Maybe you can help straighten some of these guys out.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something there for you to delve into.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I guess it's pertaining to the subject they were talking about in this film.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade's ex-wife, Sylvan Funches Wade.
All right, who's Dwayne Wade?
Dwayne Wade, he's an athlete, NBA basketball player from the championship winning Miami Heat, who beat the Spurs last month in the NBA Finals. She took to the streets of Chicago to air her frustration with the court system and her ex-husband. Funches Wade sat outside of Chicago's Daly Center on July 19th with a sign that read, NBA Miami Heat star, mother of his children on the streets. She told reporters and passersby that she was dissatisfied with the way the court and Judge Thomas Carr were handling the distribution of marital assets. She and Wade are currently in court to determine a permanent financial deal. The temporary deal reportedly says that Funches Wade should get $25,000 a month in spouse support and another $10,000 a month in travel and living expenses. Says Dwayne Wade is offering to pay only what what he owes me if I sign an agreement never to discuss what happened in our marriage with our children. I refuse, she told the Chicago Sun-Times. So I finally told Carl I just wanted to end the case and keep my freedom and my voice. I told him I didn't want anything from Dwayne. The judge demanded the trial continue. I couldn't believe it. Now, she and Dwayne Wade were married in 2002, have 2 sons, Zion and Zaire. She filed for divorce in 2007. After a lengthy divorce and court battle, the divorce was finalized in 2010. And Wade was awarded sole custody of the kids in 2011.
Yeah.
And since then, she has claimed that Wade is not paying her money he owes her. But see, I don't.
That's exactly what I was talking about with the callers. That's an opposite. That's where the guy seems to be, and the judge and the court seems to be dicking the woman over instead of dicking the man over.
Well, they almost always do that. That's the
well,
problem.
in regular, right, but not in this case. In this case, it sounds like they're dicking the wife over because he's famous basketball player Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. Well, he's got the money.
In regular civilian life, if it's a man and a woman that no one knows who the hell they are, they're going to 9 times out of 10 dick the man over. Yeah. It comes into this where the guy's famous and the woman's not.
But to be honest, truth be in a way, I think they're dicking the man over because they already been. Well, for one thing, they're already divorced. He already has a settlement.
Right.
She wants more money.
She say he's not. Well, I thought she said what you read is he's not giving enough money to the child support. Isn't that what she said?
Well, supposedly, yes. But the thing is, why he has to pay child support if he has the custody? They're in his care.
Well, I don't know the story, but then you start asking.
See, that doesn't make any sense. How are you going to pay child support if you have custody?
But maybe she's asking why has he got custody, and she might be saying only because he's the famous basketball player.
Well, not because he's famous basketball, because he can afford to pay. He can afford to take care of the child.
I would tell her just find another basketball player.
Remember, the judge does consider that. He has to consider a lot of issues. Of course, a lot of times these so-called deadbeat dads don't have a job. The mother is living on welfare. What happens is the judge says, well, she's on public assistance, she's making something, while the husband is not able to or whatever, and they give it to the mother.
Yeah.
In this case, he's got the money. So I think what she's really battling over, and I'm just guessing here, I'm not sure of this whole story, is the fact that she said, well, I should get custody for this kid.
She's the mom.
And he should pay child support. In other words, she's fighting a battle that's kind of the same as a mother who has welfare and is fighting over the dad. But in this case, the dad has enough money that the judge then says, well, wait a minute. He's able to afford this kid, a life that's, the kid is going to prosper in, while the mother is just trying to be a gold digger.
Well, what was she before they married or met? Did they say?
Probably some model, low-level model.
Cheerleader or something? Was she making her own money? I mean, or was she just?
That's a good question.
I think maybe a trophy wife, and it just
she didn't have a job. She just
some low-level model. that some photographer tried to make money off of.
Well, what I would advise her to do then
make her
is,
look pretty.
you guys are divorced, just go shack up with another NBA player or NFL player.
Exactly.
Find another guy that's going to love you.
Or go find a wrestler.
And then maybe you guys will get along and get married, and then you start a new life with this other athlete.
And then the cycle continues over.
Well, not necessarily, because those two might get along. She
Yeah,
might get along with the other athlete.
Yeah,
I mean, you're assuming that Dwayne Wade's a great guy. We don't know. If
I didn't say he was a great
we
guy.
Don't know if
I'm
Dwayne
just saying
Wade's an asshole at the house. You know, he could be very mean to her.
He is an asshole.
Right. So you can't.
I mean,
say that she won't.
did you ever see his reality show?
I know. I don't watch him. I didn't even watch
He doesn't have a reality show now that I know.
No, not anymore.
I think you're mixing him up with somebody.
No, is that
you're mixing him up with another athlete.
the one that I just saw in that picture?
Terrell Owens.
Oh, that's Ocho Cinco.
No,
that's Ocho Cinco. He's a football player.
But we don't know their home life.
Yes.
To take sides personally. We don't know whether he's been an asshole to her, mentally abusing her,
possibly,
verbally. We don't know.
But
so that's why my best result to her is my best answer to her is just go find another man that'll love you. I mean, if you're attractive.
Yeah, if you're attractive. But I'm just
go
saying.
find another guy.
But if she just happened to have another kid and does the exact same thing, then that's when that seafood platter visor just
well then they
would
would know it's her fault.
Yes.
It's kind of like when all these women in Hollywood keep flipping through these different men.
Yeah.
You start realizing that maybe the woman's the problem. Like Nicole Kidman, for example.
Oh yeah.
I always thought Nicole Kidman's
Shania
probably
Twain.
the biggest bitch to live with and be with because she seems to go through like many husbands.
Yeah.
Right.
And granted, maybe Tom Cruise is a bitch to live with too. But I mean, hell, it's like Nicole
Elizabeth
Kidman,
Taylor. Forget about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Her in a
you start
bad
questioning
bag.
whether the woman is actually the problem.
Yeah.
But then you can say the same about some guys that are like back and forth with women. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know.
But they don't usually
I
go
just
for
say
the man
glad it's not me.
because they're told that they're the provider, so they're not. You know, they have that burden. They're not usually considered the gold diggers per se because they have to provide anyway. You can't be a gold digger and be the provider at the same time.
Well, in the old days, that's how it was.
In the old days.
Nowadays, I don't know if men are so much the providers anymore.
No,
not that much.
I mean,
not as much.
really.
Not in this
No.
economy.
I mean,
But she was getting
no one's really-
$225,000 a month.
Oh my God! What
plus
do you do with
$10,000
all
a
that
month
money?
in
Why was
traveling
she
and living
complaining?
expenses.
Yeah, if she's getting that much,
She
why
must
is
have been. She
complaining?
must have went through it like Kool-Aid or something,
buying
like bottled water.
Getting a $500 hair weaves and that other crap
Exactly.
that they like to put
Exactly.
on.
If you ever seen the videos, like she's
$200
like, I
nail
want to get
job.
this now.
I've
How
never
can
seen
you?
this
Yeah, how can you be broken? You got this long weave, which we know costs about $500.
And $200 nail jobs and toe jobs and creamers.
If you're gonna be broke, you
all
say
this
you
other
broke,
crap they
look
do.
broke.
Yeah.
You can't be dressed to
That's
the
true.
nines, and
That's
people are not
true.
gonna believe you.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
You can't put lipstick on a pig and make
Yeah.
it look pretty. All right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't put kittens in the oven and call them biscuits.
Yeah.
You know.
Then they squeal like stuck pigs. Let's stay on that pig notion.
Okay.
Anyway, so Anthony, tell us about how you're making Mayor Rickett look like a pig. Here in the town.
I'm not making him look like a pig. I'm
Well,
just making
he is a
I'm
pig.
just,
But
you know.
go ahead.
You know, he's got to go. We already said that
I
before.
know,
We
yeah.
said that before this.
I love what you did yesterday, last night, when they put up that little thing about people who curse the most. What was it? The most ingenious.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
It said studies show that people that curse
and swear or something like that,
or something else are not more intelligent, but something.
they have a
else.
higher IQ or something.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. So then you get on and do what?
Well, I say, yeah. See, see, told you so. All those people want to shut Irvin and myself up, you know, because maybe we're telling the truth.
Right.
That's what it was. It wasn't IQ. It was people that swear are
more
likely
truthful.
to tell the truth.
Right.
That's what it was. And yeah.
Right. People that curse and swear are most likely to tell the truth.
According to
So how did you?
It was something like that.
And then of course you curse.
Right. Well, I said all these dumb fucks don't
Yeah.
understand us, and then I ended it with "God damn it."
Yeah. So vote for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
so
good.
Vote for me. God damn it.
Yeah, it was
That's
good.
what I said.
Anyway,
People around here don't take jokes. very well.
John
People around
John's son
here
Born says I hardly ever curse. So you're a liar. or you're more prone to lying. How's that?
No, I mean, you guys having a good show. I was going to let y'all go. I wasn't going to stay for the whole thing. I was going to go stand outside the board of elections.
I know. But so how's it going? You having fun?
I just want to stop by. I was on the way down here. I left Forsyth Street about 10 after 9.
Well,
what I'm doing too is I'm logging in a notebook.
Yeah.
All the hours that I go out and hold my sign and stuff and talk to people.
That's great.
So
what are you going
to
to pay yourself?
No, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to have it logged, and then closer to the election, I'm going to say, these are the amount of hours I was out on the street. I got proof, and this is where I was. What other candidates can say how long they were out on the streets talking to people?
They're not.
They're not. Well, that's
but don't go yet because we got 5 minutes. You might as well go on a break.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about your campaign, actually.
Good.
I'm excited because of two things. Well, no. There may be other people. It's just they're too cowardice.
That's true.
In this town to speak their mind.
That's true.
You know, Derek knows this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Not because he's one, but maybe he isn't.
And a lot of people are silent. A lot of people are silent, and they just let their voice be heard when they vote.
Exactly.
Okay? And they might write my name and just act like the whole time they wouldn't.
Exactly.
I know that's.
Yeah, they're very good at hypocrisy here.
Yes.
Yeah, they're very good.
Or as we always say, sweeping it under the rug.
Yeah, sweeping it under the rug, or avoiding to be ostracized and castrated, whatever you want to call it.
But can I address something, guys?
Yeah, please.
Because when we were on the phone earlier, and we brought up Sam Hart and Bishop, how they have not requalified yet.
Yeah.
And then you got me to thinking, Irvin, after I got off the phone with you and I was standing outside with my sign, you got me thinking that, wait a minute, what if they don't requalify? And then, you know what I'm going to say is happening? They're in on it with Rickard. Because I said from the beginning, at least with Hart, that Hart and Rickard are buddies.
I know.
Hart's the
and
black.
Bishop.
Well, I don't know about Bishop. Bishop's a Republican. The other two are Democrats.
So is Rickard. Rickard
Well,
was
in
a
disguise,
Republican
right, but Hart's
that
not.
turned to a Democrat
Right,
because he knew he couldn't make it in the city as a
So then I got
Republican.
to thinking that those two might be dropping out wanting their votes to go to you-know-who.
Absolutely.
But the minute we find out, if we do find out they didn't requalify by noon tomorrow, which is the last time you can requalify
That's correct.
or qualify, then I'm going to start blowing it up.
I need
what they're
you to.
doing. Because I would guarantee that Hart and Bishop then dropped out because they were spoken to under the cover of dark by somebody to get out of the race because they're only hurting someone else. And that someone else is.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put it past them. These commissioners
Right.
have all been very crooked,
Right.
and they know it, and they all play like they're innocent and all that,
Right.
and it's like the devil with horns,
Right.
you know, saying, "Oh, I'm a nice guy."
Right.
You know, and this was said around Christian circles for many years. The biggest lie that the devil gives to us is that
he never existed.
Exactly. That he doesn't exist. That's the biggest lie.
When he does,
it burns! It burns! It burns! Yeah.
And the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
In your head, Anthony. Oh, Lord have mercy. Reagan. Oh, by the way, remember Ronald Reagan? That's why they called him the devil.
And when she's walking down the steps like this, like a spider backwards, bending her back.
Spider-Man.
She's like,
oh, wait a minute. I'm about to vomit. Okay.
Keep it on the inside.
What the?
No, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But you know these people too, guys. There's a lot of people, white people, that can't stand Rickard now.
Yeah.
And they are going for Bishop. I've heard them. I know, like Maurice Atkinson. My
Yeah.
friend Maurice Atkinson is one. He's the guy that's just giving Joe Allen hell on the page.
Oh yeah, but you know what? I have to say something about Joe Allen. Okay, he helped me out and all that, and I appreciate it somewhat. But to be honest with you, the reason why they hate his guts is because, and let me just say this, he's the one that gave the heads up to the commissioners that in fact Sarah Tenen was using that PetSmart grant and going to Denard's
right,
and getting those dogs fixed at a place that they were not entitled to go to.
Right.
And then all of a sudden the commissioners had to scramble and come up with $6 grand in order to pay the vet. And once they paid the vet and got these dogs fixed, they went and euthanized them anyway. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And when they told that to Joe Allen went and gave the heads up to the commissioners. And by the way, I did have Fox and WXCA check it out. And they all came back to me saying, no, it's not true. Of course they're going to tell you it's not true. You're asking the very people who are lying. I mean, if you're going to do any kind of investigative reporting, why aren't you talking to the people that told me this crap that you know? And why aren't you talking to Joe Allen?
Right.
Okay, and the other thing is I still got the sheriff looking into it. I send all that stuff to the sheriff. And I'm going to go to the sheriff personally and say to him, they have been lying to you, Mr. Sheriff, because the fact of the matter is that this occurred, and I'm going to get some witnesses here that in fact will say it, that this in fact happened. That there's all this money being spent. Plus, they bought an SUV for this woman out of town. It wasn't even the lowest bidder. And yet, somehow, they bought her this SUV. And why would they give a woman that runs a shelter an SUV? Why would they give her a car? Can't she have her own car? Maybe pay for the gas? I mean, what the hell is that?
Also, why an SUV?
Yeah,
With
why an
all
SUV?
vehicles. I mean, that's a hell of a lot more expensive and takes a lot of gas.
No.
Buy her an economy car.
Do you think
she's using it for... Say
transporting pets?
Exactly. She's using it for transporting the pets. That's what she's using it for. And...
It's been fun, guys.
It's time for a break.
I'll be out of here. I'll let you
Our
guys
last
get back
leg
to your
of the
high
day.
numbers. Because if I stay any longer, I'll take your numbers down. So I better get that. No, I'm going to go stand outside for a couple hours at the election office, Board of Elections.
Okay.
Because I figure if Ricker can have his signs right there, I'm going to stand right there near his signs, and they shouldn't be able to say anything.
There you go.
Okay.
But there's a sign at the Board of Elections that says you can't do it within 150 feet of the Board of Elections.
Well, I used to take a measuring tape.
Well, I figured Rickard's people already measured that. They made sure because they don't want to have any problems. So I'm sure
Why don't you put yours in front of it?
Well, I'm not going to put one there now. I'm going to put one there when I pick the rest of my signs up.
Because here's what I did.
I'm going to stand with my one around it for like the next hour.
We're going to go to break. Why don't you guys go sit down?
Yeah. Out of here. Bye. Good to see y'all.
Okay. It's 10:02
It was
right
fun.
now.
Thank you, Ed.
in Macon, Georgia. It's
All of a
75
sudden,
degrees.
we're on
I don't
time.
need to know your personal business.
All of a sudden, Ed's like wants to be punctual. Meanwhile, we go 10 and 15 minutes overtime all the time. All right, we're going to break. Go ahead. Go ahead. We're going to break.
It's
See ya.
10:03 in Macon, 75 degrees and cloudy. Partly got with a chance of thunderstorms and showers. You're watching the Morning Roast live from the Doghouse with the Red Hat.
The Doghouse.
We called it the Doghouse.
Oh, you changed it from that house
Well,
to
why
the
not?
Doghouse.
I mean, you're
Yes.
gone. There's no more nuts here.
I like it.
And we are back into the home stretch. 2 hours down and one more to go. We're into the third and final hour of the Morning Roast with Irv, Ed, and yours truly, DB, right here in the place to be. Ed is behind the camera and behind the nerve center trying to make us look good and sound good and everything.
Yeah, it's a hard job, but I can do it.
Well, let me just say this. That guy made a mention of something about his pants off. That's like the worst thing that you can say about the Pope right now.
Yeah.
What did he say? He said something about, he's something that pants off. The hell is that all about? Why would he say that?
Now that you might want to check this.
Subliminal message on pedophilia. By the way, I do like this Pope.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up in the so-called Catholic Church. My mother did, and then she became Pentecostal, whatever. I grew up in the Episcopalian Church, and then later on the Church of Christ, and so this whole celebration. All right, he's a nice guy, And you could be the Pope, in my eye, as long as you're a good Christian.
Yeah, I just don't want to get shot.
Yeah, really. Well, you don't want to be mobbed by a bunch of Brazilian people. Well, maybe.
Unless it's Carnival.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Senadoras, or whatever they call that. Shitadoras. What do they call it?
Senadoras.
Yeah, Senador.
Yeah, Doritos Locos Tacos, yes.
Anyway, welcome back to the Morning Roast. And we still have some people hanging on. Thank you so much for hanging in. And let's just do a quick roll call. Thank you, Rosalind Nicole. Oh, look who's here. Okay, here we go. We're going to say Black Moses, DS Photo Guy, Michelle Stacy, My Nuts Itch, Rosalind Nicole, The Bean, Ellen Macon, Plastic Canvas, Ashley 34, ATT, Harry Kuda. Welcome.
Harry Kuda.
Is This Real? Josh Unborn, Jim Crow is here. Nical 3000, Rocco, Shawnio, Too Much, 4x2, Yerak, my buddy Yerak right here. Zappa 1, Bussy 8, still hanging. Jim 85 and Mike 62. Welcome all. Everybody else, too bad. They all left. What's the degrees out there? It feels like
it's right now. It's 75 right now. 75 degrees.
Not bad. It feels cool. And we got some other stuff that's a little bit more local. And we're talking about, remember how we talked about the Queen living off the dole? Well, speaking of that, food stamp rolls swell in Georgia. So Georgia is becoming like Puerto Rico, where a lot of people live off of food stamp. The number of people relying on food stamp in Georgia is rising. The program a year ago provided food assistance to a record 1.91 million people in the state a year ago. Nearly a quarter of them was 6 years old or younger, so this is mostly for kids. By this June, the program has added 40,000 more recipients. Those numbers have nearly doubled since the economy slid into the recession in the late 2007. Georgia suffered more than most states and is still hundreds of thousands of jobs below its pre-recession level. However, many jobs have been added to low-paying positions. About 58% of work-age recipients are working. Meanwhile, Georgia has surged in having the 15th highest proportion of food stamp recipients to the 6th high. Let me just say this. There was something on CNN yesterday that was said that right now the way the economy is going, it depends on where you live. I kind of always knew that, but it's more pronounced now. And would you believe Atlanta is one of the lowest states for you and one of the slowest states for you to work up the ladder of success? And New York is still number one, baby.
Okay. Well, Atlanta, Georgia, you said Atlanta. Largest.
Well, Atlanta and Georgia. But Atlanta's a big city. They're talking big city.
We used to have a lot of business here, but they all took off because nobody wants to do their job.
Yeah. But Atlanta, Georgia, or Georgia, the state of Georgia, because Atlanta's the main capital.
Yeah, and largest city.
Or whatever,
just
largest
5
city.
million.
Yeah, like New York. You know, I don't think they're making a lot of money up in Buffalo. You know, there isn't much there. But definitely New York City is, you have a better chance of success. Of course, you have to pay through your rear end in order to have an apartment there. But Atlanta is, very prosperous, and very expensive. But the disproportionate between rich and poor, there's a bigger gap or moat between them. While in New York, even Mexican immigrant makes good money.
Yeah.
That's the way it is, folks.
Yeah,
so if you
that's the way it is.
get the hell out of town and go to New York.
Yeah,
and then good luck. You'll probably have either a perverted mayor or a gay lesbian mayor.
Or a blind governor.
Or a blind governor. Yeah.
That's kind of sucks. But speaking of sucking.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Florida couple having oral sex driving on I-95 pulled out a gun after being spotted. It says one young couple spotted having oral sex while driving down the Florida interstate at 70,
how the hell did they do that?
70 miles per hour. Yeah, go figure. Pulled out a gun and
Talk about Need for Speed.
Yeah, among other things. Pulled out a gun and threatened another couple who saw them Sunday. It says Lewis Carr and Christine Broman were driving home early after an afternoon football game when they allegedly saw a naked Suzanne Walker trying to climb the lap of Ernest Gonzalez, who was behind the wheel of an SUV on Interstate I-95. And according to the story, that's basically what happened. That's all I have for right now.
They can drive 55.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
they can sure drive something else home.
Yeah.
Wow. You
like
know.
putting a pedal to the metal and a.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, right. Anyway, you know, you talk about. You think that bomb threats only happen like in big buildings and in you know, airports and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're happening in Walmart.
Wow, Walmart.
Would you believe it? In Warner Robin. The Walmart in Watson Boulevard closed for several hours Monday night after a bomb threat. An employee told 41 NBC Jasmine Williams the store evacuated shortly after 9 p.m. That's late at night, no? Are there
really
shoppers
late.
going to Walmart at 9 o'clock at night? People are nuts. Manager's letter told employees it was a false alarm and the store will remain closed until 1 a.m. as a precaution. Whatever. Anyway, the prices aren't that good, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I wanted to say something real quick because you probably
Yeah,
didn't
go ahead.
get it. They got the Little League Championship going on in Warner Robins, and Warner Robins PD, I can't find the story, but they're taking it really seriously. They don't allow coolers. No coolers, and they're going to be searching everybody, and you're going to get an armband, security going to be top notch. Remember, you got a lot of kids there. You got a lot of sick motherfuckers in this world.
I know.
So
Well,
it's going to the Little League in Warner Robins.
Yeah.
Next month.
So
well,
think,
it's
yeah.
not only in Warner Robins.
Yeah. So
here.
think that.
I know. I know because I
Yeah,
got a
Warner
story.
Robins,
It was a segue.
Yeah, so think that guy from on that cover of Rolling Stone, that Boston marathon runner. Thanks a lot for crapping out our country, making it more say we have to get more security because you want to be seen.
No, you know what? I mean, it's more than that. I mean, 9/11 and everybody went into
Oklahoma
a panic
City,
mode.
yeah. Well,
Literally, Homeland Security was created. Hundreds of thousands of jobs. Hundreds of billions of dollars were spent on overload, ODing on security. It seems like, you want to build, you talk about an iron curtain. We built an iron freaking wall around us.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is security. It's just, I think we're really paranoid right
Well,
now.
remember the bomb scares just downtown?
Yeah.
Remember the bags that were found?
Yeah, it was a duffel bag with like underwear and a sweatshirt in it.
And
they blew it up
who was
anyway.
the one who did the mannequin or something?
Yeah, the mannequin.
Who is that?
That's DS's mannequin, yeah.
Diaz.
Yeah, DS's mannequin.
Send me a video.
It's Halloween mannequin. By the way, Bakersfield Kroger's was robbed. Police are looking for an early morning robbery in the Macon Kroger grocery store. Police are looking for a man responsible, and the news release from Macon Police. The suspect came to the Kroger on North Avenue a few minutes before 2 a.m. Monday and handed the clerk at the self-checkout a note demanding money. The man did not show the clerk a weapon. He got away with an undisclosed amount of cash and left the store in an unknown direction on foot. Police say the man was wearing orange sweatpants, gray shirt, with a baseball cap. If you have any information, you are asked to call the police at 751-7500 or Crime Stoppers at 1-877-68-CRIME. There you have it.
Son of a gun.
Dang. More robberies.
Bakersfield, out of all the Krogers, they had to. Oh my goodness! See, now
That's the one that you go to, no?
Well, that's the only one that stays open after midnight. It's the only one in Macon that stays open 24 hours a day. And I used to go there when I had food, when I just ran out of food and I had to get something, have something to eat to be able to have something for breakfast or something.
Yeah, late at night, or for people with the munchies.
Yeah, something like
You
that.
ever get the munchies?
Yeah. And that was one of the places that was open, that you could get. I mean, get a nice little microwave pizza, get that bad boy. When I used to work at the TV station, I used to get that sucker before going on my way to work. Or if I got like a big long, 30-minute or hour-long infomercial, I used to put that sucker on and then just go drive over to Kroger and get one of those frozen pizzas and some nachos and come back and still had like about 5 to 10 minutes left on the show and didn't even miss a beat and still have something. Yeah, because I timed it that way.
You just got it like that.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, you know they
Yes.
found this cannonball
Mhm.
from the Civil War. Would you believe it was still alive?
Wow.
I mean, from the Civil War, guys, it still had gunpowder in it, and it still had the little pellets, and they blew it up. And it says in Atlanta, police say a construction crew has unearthed what appears to be a cannonball near Centennial Olympic Park. Police spokesman Gregory Lyne says the crew dug up the suspected cannonball Thursday afternoon. Authorities took it to a bomb range. Centennial Olympic Park is owned by Georgia World Congress Center Authority. Jeez. Spokesman Jennifer Lemaster said the cannonball was removed from the property, but authorities have not yet determined how old it is. Police spokesman John Chaffee said the bomb technician said the artifact may have been from the Civil War, but authorities say the suspected cannonball has not yet been examined by an expert. They've already blown it up, so this is an old story. When Federal troops besieged Atlanta in 1864, they fired thousands of cannon shells into the downtown area that is now includes Centennial Olympic Park. It was still alive. This is old news. Obviously, they haven't updated it.
Yeah, that's really interesting, considering the fact that if anyone remembers the opening ceremonies of the Centennial Olympic Games that were in Atlanta back in '96, there was a huge opening routine that they had with all the dances they had was with like a lot of white lace and white and gray lace, was supposed to talk about which I guess supposed to symbolize the Civil War, and more specifically the burning of Atlanta, where General Sherman's Union troops destroyed Atlanta, just did a scorched earth and just burned Atlanta to the ground.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And they were right over the Ocmulgee River over here, and they didn't come in to Macon. Macon was spared.
Yeah, luckily, yes.
Yeah, because they were good at. They were good at. Yeah.
And I'm still wearing the same underwear from that day.
But anyway,
you might want to burn that.
I got to segue into something real quick.
Uh-huh.
I was just looking at one of the websites, news.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Fox changed their website.
Yeah.
But they have this up there, and this is one of their polls.
Yeah.
Okay? Which do you care more about? Honey Boo Boo or the baby born?
Oh, right.
Neither. Which one do you care about?
I don't know. That's a good question,
Ed.
Ed. That is a very good question. Because Honey Boo Boo is part of our immediate area.
Yeah, she is part of Georgia.
And the royal baby doesn't even have a name yet. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, when Prince dropped his name.
John Doe.
Symbol.
Yeah.
Symbol kid.
Dear beloved, we come here to this thing called life. The new prince.
Yeah.
The little baby prince.
So, who the hell knows? Neither. I'll say neither. Neither do I really give a crap. But if nothing else, I would say the baby.
Yeah,
it's always nice to have a birthday. You almost wish like Honey Boo Boo wasn't born.
Oh, that's not nice.
Oh, whatever.
But then again, she'd be a good poster child for Trojans.
Yeah.
Don't this disaster happened to you.
Well, at least the royal baby, at least the royal baby has a better chance of doing something better for his life. So,
you think so?
What scandal are we talking
Reality
about?
show. Remember, reality
What
show.
scandal are we talking about?
Yeah.
The royal baby.
The
He
royal
has-
baby scandal. You watch. Mark
Yeah.
my words. The
Yeah.
scandal.
Those people are
Well,
always
he's
in scandal.
robbing other babies for their diapers or something like that.
No, but
Or if their
Yeah,
baby
we're-
toys.
we're
Each my rattle. Each my rattle. Each
Where's our
mine.
friend across the pond, Saibuki, with all this?
Yeah, where is Sabukwin?
Who the hell? Yeah, Saibuki, where the hell are you? Oh, well. Honey Boo Boo's mom is the first woman I've ever seen with 5 chins. There you go.
5
That's
chins.
very important information there. Her chin actually looks like kneecaps.
Ooh.
Ed's got a picture somewhere.
Yes.
Her chin is her chest. Yeah.
She is in the chest. Yeah, that's
Anyway, she does kind of spoil her kids. She said, "Oh, I want to love them. I want to do this. I want to do that, and allow them to be themselves and all that, and try to sell that hocus pocus." But I don't know. They do look like they're happy, but who wouldn't be happy?
Yeah.
If you have a reality show, exactly. There she is. That's Honey Boo Boo's mom.
We need, you probably need to
mouth
compress
and her
her.
forehead.
Yeah. She's got 2 mouths.
This is actually the whole
Boy,
state
yeah.
of Georgia.
You really know how to play with those pictures.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, so
need to cut that drinking.
Dude. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we're looking at would you believe in Georgia they're celebrating the royal birth? Speaking of which, the Great Kate Wait. That's what they called it.
Yeah.
The Great Kate Wait. William didn't masturbate.
Yeah.
Let me end it with that.
Oh, yeah, you got the
made his way across the pond to Middle Georgia. And one local British restaurant drumming up the royal baby excitement. The royal baby watch may be over, but the owner of the British pantry and tea room, the celebration, is just beginning. For the past 2 weeks, customers could fill out slips to participate in a baby contest, royal baby contest. They had to guess the first name, when he or she would be born, and how much the baby would weigh. The winner with the most correct guesses wins a gift certificate. The owner, Jan Francis, says she is also planning a big celebration sometime next month to welcome England's newest prince. The royals are changing, and the baby will be brought up more like Prince William and Harry. Yeah, right. I think Catherine will be like Prince William's mother, Lady Diana. And will really be with the child and look after the child and bring him or her to the modern day. I had enough. Thank you, Ed.
Baby invasion of the
By
baby
the way,
snatchers.
Right now, I'm so.
Well, that's
overwhelmed.
how you can see the baby. But
I'm so overwhelmed. I need to go to God. So let's do the Daily Bread, folks. The Daily Bread for today. July 23rd.
Yes, July 23rd.
Today's July 23rd, 2013.
That sounds like something that always happens in Georgia all the time.
Yeah.
Road construction.
Road construction. Guys standing around with shovels. They don't do anything. Standing. But in this case, we got a different story. Here in Michigan, we joke that we have 2 seasons. Winter and road construction. Harsh winters damage road surfaces, so repair crews begin their work as soon as the ice melts and the ground thaws. Although we call this work construction, much of what they do looks like destruction. In some cases, simply patching holes is not an option. Workers have to replace the old road with a new one. That's what it can really feel like when God is in work in our lives. Throughout the Old Testament, God told his disciples to expect some major renovation on the road between him and them. Isaiah 62, chapter 10 through 11. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31. When God sent Jesus, it seemed to the Jews as if their way to God was being destroyed. But Jesus wasn't destroying anything. He was completing it. Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. The old way paved with the laws became the new way paved with the sacrificial love of Jesus. God is at work replacing old ways of sin and legalism with the way of love that Jesus completed. When he removes our old ways of thinking and behaving, it may feel as if everything familiar is being destroyed. But God is not destroying anything. He is building a better way. And we can be confident that the end result will be a smoother relationship with others and a closer relationship with God. Free from the law, oh happy condition. Jesus bled, and there is remission. Cursed by the law, and bruised by the fall, God has redeemed us once and for all. Bliss. Upheaval often precedes spiritual progress. And your Bible read for today is in for Jeremiah 31, chapter 31 through 34, and in Romans 7:6, which says, we have been delivered from the law so that we would serve in the newness of the Spirit. There you have it. Our daily bread. Thank you.
Is 10:30. Yeah, whatever that came from. Okay, it's 10:30 right now. 10:30 right now into the left. 30 minutes left on the show. Just wanted to say thanks for keeping us in mind. Thank you for keeping us number one. Speaking of some stories, I had one about Tavis Smiley, who was one of the guest, I guess one of the guest forum members in Meet the Press this past Sunday.
That guy needs to get married. What's wrong with him?
Well,
I think he's a closet gay guy.
Why do every person who's a black guy who's not a thug, who's single, is gay?
Look, even Coretta Scott King, when she met him, that was the first thing that she said. We got to get you married. I think she's dead now, no?
Well, yes.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it says he was on Meet the Press. Tavis Smiley, who has a show on NPR as well as a news program on PBS, if those ever check out to see it, says despite the outrage over his Twitter attack on President Obama's remarks on race in America following George Zimmerman's acquittal, Black America Web reports that Tavis Smiley, this is from theroot.com, Tavis Smiley defended his comments Sunday during an appearance on Meet the Press. During the interview, he restated his tweet saying that he thought the president's remarks were too little too late, quote unquote, as weak as pre-sweetened Kool-Aid. He then went on to criticize the president's role as leader. He says, I appreciate and applaud the fact that the president did finally show up, Smiley said. But this town has been spinning a story that's not altogether true. He did not walk to the podium for an impromptu address to the nation. He was pushed to that podium. A week of protests outside the White House, pressure building on him inside the White House, pushed him to that podium. Yeah. And Smiley goes on.
He's still mad at him.
Yeah, Smiley goes on to say the president is failing to lead on the issue and should step into his moments.
You know what?
But he says, but when he left the podium, he still had not answered the most important question, that the Kingian question, where do we go from here? Where Martin Luther King once said that, during his before he was assassinated. That question this morning remains unanswered, at least from the perspective of the president. And the bottom line is, this is not Libya, this is America, I guess referring to Benghazi. On this issue, you cannot lead from behind. For what's lacking in this moment is moral leadership. The country is begging for it. They're craving it.
Okay, Tavis Smiley and Cornel West. All right, remember those two bozos? That Cornel West with the big, crazy-looking guy that always talking some language. I would hate for him to be my professor.
It's called English.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, okay, here's some behind-the-scenes news that nobody really knows about. They had a show not too long ago that they both put on PBS that was about uniting the black community and talking about race and talking about all that stuff. They invited President Obama. Obama did not show, and instead sent his wife. And since that time, Tavis Smiley and Cornel West were so offended that he did that they're still holding a grudge. Then they go and they decide to put on this bus tour and pay for these buses to go around asking questions on poverty and all that nonsense. My question to Tavis and that Cornel West, who has hair like Bozo the Clown, why didn't they take the money that they spend on the bus and donate that to a charity? Why are they spending money And yet they're taking a bus tour about poverty in America. And by the way, what is their whole so-called meeting that they have with all these black leaders coming in and all these, professional talking heads and these psychiatrists and all these bozos showing up at their miserable show? What did it produce? Nothing. Nothing. And Tavis Smiley now wants to still hold a grudge against President Obama because Obama was a no-show to his bogus, stupid show that did nothing to produce any kind of results. And where are they now? Where is that professor, Cornel West? Where is he?
At Harvard.
Yeah. Why isn't he feeding the poor? Why is he still making money and talking about Obama? Why does Tavis Smiley even have a show? It's
He's
ridiculous.
on PBS.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
He's getting paid, and he ain't donating his time. And that's the thing, that instead of hitting on the president and trying to make him look bad, find something constructive to do other than putting on shows and showboating and creating all these. It's like Macon, it's just like in Macon. Mm-hmm. They talk, and don't produce squat.
Yeah.
And meanwhile the president's trying to calm fears down because people are getting upset, and you got people freaking out already over the Zimmerman verdict, and the president, he's not one that's so impulsive that every time somebody sneezes he's right there with a napkin ready to blow their nose. They should carry their own napkin. They ought to know. Yeah. Their nose is full of snot.
I think Fight for Justice, a guy, a chatter who was on the Root.com about that story, on the article's message board, I think he may agree with you, or I guess to an extent. It says Smiley and West expect Obama to be Superman. He's one man with his hands tied. Had the Republicans in the House pass the American Jobs Act, millions of Americans, black and white, would be gainfully employed right now. Smiley doesn't recognize the fact that before Obama is the first black president, he's the president of the whole United States, period. He can't perform miracles, but Smiley can keep talking shit, right? Who needs Fox News to unfairly tarnish the president's image, right, Tavis? Does Mr. Smiley care so much about the well-being of black people, then stop hosting a TV show, start a campaign, get elected to office where he can truly make a difference?
Thank you.
Instead of slamming Obama. Barack Obama is not the messiah for all the masses. His hands are full.
Okay.
He inherited the worst economic debacle since FDR. Even you, Tavis Smiley, don't have the answers.
Yeah, there you go. Now, Bussy says, I want to read what Bussy said. Bussy was our guest just a few moments ago. He has a very interesting comment here, if I can find it. Where the hell is it? Jesus, I just lost it, Bussy. Hold on. I'm trying to find it. All I'm saying is, instead of hitting on the president, which really stand in line. I mean, everybody...
Get a number, yeah.
Yeah, get a number. Everybody seems to be hitting Obama on everything. On everything. I mean, if your toilet's clogged up, you're going to blame Obama. Everybody blames everything on our president. Not right. He says, I believe that the position of the president is a front. There are other powers that be. And that goes back to Bush as well as just my thoughts. That's true. But here's the thing, Bussy. All I'm saying is the president had to respond because it was boiling over. It was bubbling up. And if you were on Facebook, it's a perfect example of the vitriol that was going on between, even in this community, which is completely segregated.
Is that what you were trying to find right there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Bussy. That's our buddy. By the way, and all I'm saying is, it's funny how people, these patriots that say, I'm a patriot, I'm an American, I'm this, I'm that, and yet they can't even respect the President of the United States. If you're such a patriot, you ought to respect the President.
Yeah.
Or not, don't call yourself a patriot. They're like, oh, I'm America, I stand up for America. Except for that black guy that's my president. because he ain't my color, or he ain't my style, or he doesn't talk the way I do. All I'm saying is, stop hitting on our president. If you are now, mind you, there are some that say, well, you know what? As an American and a patriot, I have a right of freedom of speech. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And if you disagree with the president, fine, voice your opinion. But geez, I mean, my God, all the hate and the vitriol, and it always winds up that the fact is that it's not that you don't like his policies, because if you go back, like Busey said, he's kind of like Bush. He's basically carrying over a lot of Bush's stuff.
Yeah.
But because he's black, and you can't stand it. You can't stand that our president is black. Too bad. I hope we get a Mexican president next with a big accent.
Well, we
But
might
he was
with
still
if
born
we get
he was still born here.
Get Marco Rubio.
Yeah, Marco Rubio.
Well, actually, he's Cuban now. Prescott.
whatever.
Prescott
He
Bush.
looks
Prescott Bush. He is half Mexican. Prescott Bush is.
Well, a lot of people say to me, when I say I'm Puerto Rican now, then no. First they ask me, are you Mexican? No, I'm Puerto Rican. Oh, same thing. I guess I'll say the same thing.
Okay.
Same thing. Anyway, but seriously, we've I know John Sunbone. I know you can't stand him, and you have a right if you don't like your president. Thank God you could say that without having your doors broken down. Although not yet. Remember,
Not
there's
yet.
NSA out there, pal.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful. But all I'm saying is stop so much hate, and especially from a guy like Travis Smiley, who, you know, he disappears. What the hell does he do for the community except have a stupid show? And shows up out of nowhere like a roach that's living in some crevice. And then who's he come out with? He comes out with like the ugliest professor that you could ever bring out. Bring out some good-looking guy like that guy in the Huffington Post that's in Columbia University, that young reporter in the Huffington Post.
I see.
Yeah, good-looking kid. Bring him out.
Okay.
Maybe he'll have some creep.
I'll go ahead and since we're going into digging into some, we'll get into sports.
Oh yeah, speaking of sport.
Yeah.
They take him like a sport. They bang him around like a football.
Yeah.
Kick him around like a soccer ball.
Or slap
Hit
him around like a hockey puck.
puck. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good segue. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Yes, Milwaukee Brewers star Ryan Braun is suspended for drug violations. This is from Jake Wade from WMAZ.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Yes, Milwaukee Brewers outfielder Ryan Braun has been suspended without pay for the rest of the season, including the postseason. An announcement from Commissioner Bud Selig said the suspension was for violations of the Basic Agreement and its joint drug prevention and treatment program, and is effective immediately. So I guess he's accepting it. Braun says, as I acknowledged in the past, I'm not perfect. As Braun said in a statement released by MLB, Major League Baseball, says, I realize now that I've made some mistakes, and I am willing to accept the consequences of those actions. This situation has taken a toll on me and my entire family, and it has been a distraction to my teammates and the Brewers organization. Yeah. And Braun, who was the National League MVP in 2011, is the first player suspended in the wake of baseball's biogenesis investigation. The commissioner's office tried to suspend Braun in 2012 when he submitted a urine sample with elevated levels of testosterone, but went awry for procedural issues with the evidence. The question is now if New York Yankees slugger Alex Rodriguez will be next, since he's just finishing his rehab. He has also been linked to the now defunct clinic in Miami, which has an alleged source of PEDs for more than 20 players. And Braun's salary for 2013 was $8.5 million, but that was before the suspension.
Yeah.
This is probably, it says USA Today's national baseball writer Bob Nightingale says this will be the most expensive drug suspension in baseball history. Ryan Braun will be suspended for the remainder of the season and possibly postseason, which was total 65 games.
Yeah.
65 games. That's a lot of games.
Goodbye.
Yes.
You want to do drugs, you already tarnished. Baseball's already tarnished.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the record since what? Since the late '90s.
Yeah.
From the late '90s up until today, it's like a video game. It's fake, not real.
Yeah.
You know, these people are on drugs, and they become like Supermen, and it's just like wrestling.
Yeah.
Fake sport.
Speaking of wrestling, though, I was watching a little bit of Monday Night Raw over here at Irv's place last night. Just saw a little bit of it, then Tina watched the rest of it. They had a really interesting match between David Bryan and between a couple of, I guess, gauntlet matches where he had to play. He had to go against two wrestlers, Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesare, the Swiss wrestler, a former USA champion. He had to fight those guys for the GM of Raw, Mr. Brad Maddox, to see if he was deemed worthy to have a championship match against the reigning WWE champion John Cena. Even though he beat both of them, he had a match between he gave an impromptu match. Mr. Maddox gave an impromptu match for Mr. David Bryan to go against Ryback, the huge behemoth that basically slammed him through a table. Thus, Daniel Bryan won by disqualification. So therefore, he will go against John Cena for the WWE Championship on SummerSlam, which will be, I think, next month. And that's all I have of wrestling right now.
What about hockey? Oh, that's right.
Well, hockey's over. Hockey's canceled until November, and NBA and basketball as well.
They couldn't slide on ice right now.
Yeah, because it melted. I have some other stories about Urlacher where Mike Ditka tells him to move on and accept retirement. It says, when the 2013 NFL season kicks off, the Chicago Bears will be without linebacker Brian Urlacher, who played in a Bears uniform for 13 seasons and became the face of the franchise. The 8-time Pro Bowler split with the Bears was less than amicable, with Urlacher calling the one-year, $2 million contract offered to him a slap in the face. Instead of taking less money than he felt he deserved or moving to a new team, Urlacher retired as a member of the Bears. And Bears legend Mike Ditka thinks it's time for Urlacher to move on as well. He says, my advice would be for you to put it behind you. Brian has been such a player for the Bears and ambassador for the team. Not many guys get to play 13 years for the same team. Usually when you change GMs and a new regime comes in, they're going to make tough decisions. Mr. Emery decided that Brian wouldn't be part of the plan. There's nothing you could do about it. You know, the game of football was very good to Brian, but it owes him nothing now. You just have to move on. And I guess that's what we pretty much have to move on to. That's all I have right now for sports.
Yeah.
And speaking of some sporting or at least survival, I guess you might say, there were two brothers, a couple of brothers in Casey County, Kentucky, were cutting some timber, and they've made a surprise discovery near a Casey County home, in their home, I guess, near their home. John Wellington said he and his brother came across a more than 4-foot-long rattlesnake. They found it near a Kaufman Branch Road. Well, they said they killed the snake, but the taxidermist estimates the snake to be around 52 inches long. While it's that big, it's not a record. Now, some experts say that the longest rattlesnake found in Kentucky was a little more than 60 inches long. That's 5 feet. So, more than 5, that has got to be, that's one big rattlesnake. One huge rattlesnake. I mean, especially in Kentucky. That's not so far from here. Not so far from Georgia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
What you going to do?
Josh Unborn. I said it before, and I'll say it again. You can talk against racism. You can say you shouldn't use this, you shouldn't use that, whatever. But if you're going to start calling each other racist names, I'm going to throw you off the show. Very easy. Very easy. Follow the rules. That's all. You know? I love Rocco. I like when he's on the show. But, he tends to bring up this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And the only person that used to do this a lot was Vorpalbite, and he's even not doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got the words to do.
Yeah, we got some words to do, yes. Had some wordsmith. We'll go ahead and get into
No, Jansu, it's a different subject.
Yeah, we have Word Origins by John Ato. We have today's word origin is, or word of the day, is alma mater. Alma mater literally means mother who fosters or nourishes. The Latin adjective almus, giving nourishment, derives from the verb alere, to nourish, A-L-E-R-E, source of English alimony and alimentary. The epithet alma mater was originally applied by the Romans to a number of goddesses whose particular province was abundance, notably the Ceres and Cybele. In the 17th century, it began to be used in English with a reference to a person's former school or college, thought of as a place of intellectual and spiritual nourishment. Alexander Pope was amongst its earliest users, although the reference is far from kind. It says, proceed, great days, till learning fly my shore, till Isis' elders meet their people's sport, and the alma mater lie dissolved in port, by Dunclad in 1718. If that which nourishes is almus, those who are nourished are alumni, similarly derived from the verb alere. Alumnus was first applied in English to a pupil, and more specifically a former pupil or graduate. In the 17th century, an early reference combines the notions of alumnus or alma mater. Lieutenant Governor promised his interposition for them, as becomes such an alumnus to such an alma mater. From William Sewell's diary from 12th of October 1696. The first example of the feminine form alumna comes from the 1880s. As yes, like I always brag about, my alma mater from college was University of Georgia. Go Dogs! And my high school alma mater, Southwest High School. Go Patriots! Yes, that's a very, very powerful word.
Yeah.
And also, who said it first? It says, bite the dust. Who said this first? The idea wasn't born with Western movies. Around 700 BC, the Greek poet Homer wrote of such an image, but it took a while to make the transition to English. Various versions filtered through, the earliest perhaps being Lick the Dust from the Book of Psalms. In 1720, Alexander Pope, there he goes again, translated Homer's words as bit the ground. And Cowper's translation had pressed the dust. But in 1748, Scottish author Tobias Smollett focused the varying versions of the already 2,000-year-old expression in Gil Bias of Saint-Helene, a novel he translated from the French. It says, two made two of them bite the dust, and the others betake themselves to flight. From Homer's original concept of sudden death, which it still describes, the term also came up into usage in the wider context of defeat or failure. It can refer to political ideas, financial downturns, or commercial disasters, even an expired romance or marriage. And let's not forget the 80s classic, Another One Bites the Dust by the group Queen.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, indeedy.
Wow, that's great. Give yourself some applause there.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
I know.
Yes.
And by the way, Bean, why does there have to be so much hate and meanness by some of the chatters? Cutting up one thing, but to keep on and on is another. Thank you, Bean.
Thank you.
That's what I'm trying to control. Anyway. So,
we
got 7 minutes to the show.
Yeah, I have some other news. Go figure. It's I guess it's somewhat sports related. The Redskins quarterback Robin Griffin III has passed a major test toward his goal in playing in the first week, getting the go-ahead from team doctors before the Washington Redskins opening training camp. So basically, Griffin announced yesterday on Twitter that doctors cleared me to practice. Coach is going to ease me in. The two sentences represent hurdles of past and the future. Even though Griffin says he has the medical okay, it is now up to Coach Mike Shanahan to determine how often and how vigorously Griffin practices when the Redskins open camp Thursday in Richmond, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Says the Redskins had no comment on Griffin's tweet. However, a person familiar with the situation said the Redskins have cleared Griffin to practice, but the person spoke to Associated Press on condition of anonymity because the club has not made an announcement. Still, it seems like more likely that Griffin will be under center when the Redskins open the regular season against the Philadelphia Eagles on September 9th, just 8 months after he had reconstructive surgery on his right knee. So we hope, wish Robert Griffin the best, and hopefully they don't have to play against the Falcons. So there you go.
By the way, you know Usher, right?
Yeah, I don't know Usher.
Yeah, Usher Raymond, the
singer,
the fourth.
Usher Raymond.
He's known for singing and songwriting and performing. He's also gaining respect for his work with the youth.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Good, very good.
Usher is now collaborating with the Georgia Department of Education to do more. Usher's New Look Foundation, UNL, is working with the Georgia DOE on curriculum that would help motivate kids. Youth go to school and maybe they're not engaged, Usher said. Maybe they say that what I'm learning here isn't applicable to what I want to do in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Usher created the UNL in 1999 and has worked to create young leaders. If there's an opportunity to engage youth and teach them to lead or lead them to what they want to do with their lives to become future leaders or entrepreneurs, then we're making a connection where we're doing exactly what the purpose of the New Look Foundation is, Usher said. One of the big supporters in Georgia's First Lady, Sandra Deal. The youth, see the success of Usher, and he encourages them to find their passion and follow it, to develop their own identity and own self-worth. Ms. Deal said, he's giving them a reason to finish school and to be leaders in our community and to solve the problem. To learn more about Usher's New Look Foundation, you can go to www.ushersnewlook.org. There you have it, Usher. You know, he was on, he first was basically discovered in Star Search.
Yeah, on Star Search, yes.
Yeah, and it was Ed McMahon.
And he was on The Voice recently.
On The Voice, yeah.
Yeah, but
I actually like Usher.
Yes. Yeah, but are you going to give him some minus points because he's also the one who discovered Justin Bieber?
Oh, please. Justin Bieber's his wayward son at this point.
The wayward
son. By the way, I did see Usher in New York, in Central Park, a few years back, obviously. I've been here in Georgia now. I'm going on 10 years. So he's a great dancer. I mean, you just got to hand it to this kid. He's got pretty much, I mean, he does mesmerize you. Not as much as Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Not as much. Michael was...
He's a league on his own.
But yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Very good, actually.
Yeah. I do have one story to remind people about, because even though it's raining a lot, it's not as hot as it was last year when we had this serious heat wave.
Yeah.
There's a story, I guess so far that 22 kids have died in the backseat of a car this year in 2013. It says as summer temperatures reach record highs, it's important to remember the dangers of leaving a child alone in a hot car. Heat stroke is the leading cause of non-crash vehicle-related deaths for children. It says on average, 37 children die every year from heat strokes after being left unattended in a vehicle. It says more than 30 children died in 2012 as a result of heat stroke. So far in 2013, 22 have already died after being left alone in an unattended vehicle. So since 1998, about 561 children have died due to vehicular heat stroke. Circumstances leading to deaths include a child being forgotten by the caregiver, the child playing in an unattended vehicle, or the child was intentionally left in a vehicle by an adult. Remember the story about the woman this model who left her kids in her SUV while she went to the Lil Wayne concert last week.
Yeah, and she left him in there. How long was Lil Wayne's concert?
2 hours. 2 hours. And she got some
jail. Speaking of child support, he's another deadbeat dad. Did you hear that?
Yeah. She has jail time because she left her kids on there because they could have died in there. I mean, luckily it was at night. But still, the children have died from
stomping on the American flag and all that crap, and then say, "Oh, I didn't see it."
Yeah,
you're looking right at it, you stupid moron.
Yeah. Children said have died from vehicular heat stroke in the United States since 1998, and range between from 5 days old to 14 years old, and more than half are under 2 years of age.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, on a 75-degree day, the interior of a vehicle can reach over 100 degrees in about half an hour. And study shows that interior temperature will continue to increase about 45 degrees every hour. And it says cracking window does not help to keep the inside of a car cool. That's
Right. It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't.
So child safety engineers at General Motors, Safe Kids Worldwide, and General Motors Foundation have alert parents to never leave a child alone in a car. And also, I guess, includes pets as well.
Yeah.
Creating reminders such as placing something next to your child that is needed for your final destination and taking action by calling 911 if you see a child alone in a car.
Absolutely. Put that parent in jail. That's child abuse. There's so many things that can be attached to that.
Yes.
If you're going to go have a kid, folks, please, for God's sake, be committed to it. I mean, these parents have kids and then they want to shuck them inside and, like wearing shoes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, these shoes are uncomfortable right now. I'm going to take them off.
Right, you're right.
Kids are not a commodity. Kids are
They're
not a pet.
They're not an accessory.
Yeah. They're not an accessory, a commodity, or a pet.
But you do have to take care of both of them because
They're human beings, for God's sake.
And pets, you also take care of your pets.
And once you have a baby, you're stuck. Deal with it.
But I do have some other news.
What else? It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll do this brief. German company brings 178 manufacturing jobs to Lawrence County.
Oh,
About nearly 200 jobs are coming to Dublin and Lawrence County with the ribbon cutting for Friday for a German-owned metal stamping plant. Erdrich Automotive Suppliers has invested $39 million in the construction of the plant that will employ 178 people when it opens. So congratulations to people living in Dublin and Lawrence County. You'll be able to get some jobs. Now, if we can get some more jobs here in Macon, it'll be okay.
All righty, and there we have it, folks. Our daily show.
Yes, that's our
Thank
show.
you all for coming. I'm going to
Thank
say
you all.
good night, and then you close it out. DS, we're going to start with Black Moses, DS Photo Guy, Orbit Skillet, Michelle, Stacy, My Nutsitch, Rosalind, Nicole, The Bean, Ashley 34, ATT, Harry Cooter. Is this real? Yes, it is, pal. Jim Crow is here, Lords of Lycans, Nical 3000, Real Man Paws, Rowdy Dates, still too lazy to sign, too much. You're too much, pal. Yuck Foo, Zappa 1, Busey, Martin 3, Mike 62, and of course we had Hydroponic just like
who was here earlier.
And thank you also.
And Jeff Smith Show.
Yeah, and that's right, the Jeff Smith Show. We had some others.
Also want to thank Busey, Creative Films for calling in for that call. Thank you. It was very informative.
Yeah, Bussy 8 is here,
Bussy
of course.
8,
Thank you so much.
And also Ann, who called in earlier and who came in later in the show, in midpoint of the show, for dropping in. Want to thank all of our guests and chatters and watching us, and hope you'll see us again.
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Anthony Harris, by the way,
Thank you,
for
Anthony.
being guest shows, whatever.
It's going on 11:03 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It's 75 degrees with a high of 88 and a low of 73. Keep your umbrellas handy just in case. There will be some raining, and we'll see you tomorrow. And take care. And tomorrow's Hump Day. Camel Day.
Camel Day.
Until next time, can you smell what the roast is brewing?
Thank you. See you tomorrow.